Knicks is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. We are also brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Hal Steinbrenner pushing back on Yankee payroll questions during a Zoom session with the media Monday as compared to their revenues.
I'm assuming you make a profit. Is that fair as well?
No, it's not fair, actually. So
You take a loss?
Don't want to get into it, but that's not a fair statement or an accurate statement. You need to, everybody wants to talk about revenues. They need to talk about our expenses.
Added it's too early to hone in on a payroll range until they get a feel for the free agent market during the upcoming winter meetings. Meantime, David Stearns discussed the Brandon Nimmo for Marcus Semien trade and the idea of needing to break up the Met core.
I don't know if it's necessarily wanting to change the clubhouse dynamics. I think it's a recognition that what we did last year wasn't good enough, and running back the exact same group wasn't the right thing to do.
He implied there would be more moves on the way this winter. 12th straight win for the Knicks over the Nets, 113-100 at Barclays Center behind 37 points and 12 rebounds from Karl Anthony Towns. The Rangers edged the Blues at Madison Square Garden 3-2, putting a halt to a 4-game losing streak. Devils over the Red Wings 4-3. Monday Night Football saw the 49ers take care of the Panthers 20-9 to wrap up NFL Week 12. College hoops, Iowa State edged St. John's in Las Vegas 83-82, while Rutgers fell to Tennessee 85-60. Scarlet Knights turn around faced Notre Dame today. You've got coverage at 12:45 on WFAN AM. Also, it was Seton Hall improving to 6-0 with a win over NC State 85-74 as part of the Maui Invitational. Fan weather sponsored by New York City Small Business Services. 51 degrees, cloudy skies in Central Park. And with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lopresti.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
We have got a jam-packed show today. Brian Baldinger later on. We'll do a little Turkey Day teaser ahead of this holiday, of course. So some football picks for you. A lot of football talk we'll get to later on. But we start with the baseball again, BT. And for me, thinking a lot about this and listening to the morning show driving in, and, we went over all the cuts yesterday from Hal and all that stuff. Do you think Hal Steinbrenner and the Yankees, and you want to keep it specific to Hal, that's fine because he is the Yankees, he owns the Yankees. Do you think he prioritizes winning overall? Based on everything you heard yesterday, the way that he's operated, do you think Hal prioritizes winning overall?
Not as much as he should.
And that, to me, is the problem. So we could talk about spending, how much, but when he keeps talking from and by the way, it's his prerogative, but he keeps talking from a business perspective. The Yankees are a great business. His father had that, obviously bought them at the value that he did, built them up at
$10 million
Okay,
bucks.
and what are they worth now?
$8 billion,
Okay.
8.1 billion.
So yeah, there's a business sense to it. But George, and I hate to even go down the Hal versus George thing, but it's an excellent reference point. You kind of have to do it. Never once, ever, did I hear George Steinbrenner speak and think he doesn't prioritize winning. Never once did I think of the business aspects of baseball when I hear George speak. It was always from a fan's perspective. Fans don't want to hear about the business of baseball. We're fans. We want to see the team win. And when the Yankees, we have the highest of expectations to spend that much. So I think that's the problem with Hal is he's too business focused as opposed to just saying, damn it all, I'm going all in. I want to win. I want to prioritize winning.
Yeah. Here's the deal for me with Hal. He does too much good, to get crushed. Like he does enough to get crushed.
Right.
You can't crush. I think if you do, you're being unfair. But what is this now, the second or the third time we've heard about this $100 million check to the city every February 1st? We don't care. I don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. Whether it was COVID, whether it's non-COVID, you're worth $8.1 billion. So it's a very fine line. There's been owners here where they deserved vitriol. Hal doesn't deserve that.
No, not vitriol, but come on.
Well, I'm saying, like,
he keeps referencing the damn luxury tax. Dude, this is going back for years. You and I first started before we got together. Luxury tax. How it's
been a story.
We don't want to hear about your business. We want to see results. We want to hear about you saying it's not good enough. Not just, the Dodgers, they clicked on all cylinders and the Blue Jays were hot at the right time. No, we want to hear you frustrated and say, I cannot stand losing and I'm going to do whatever it takes to turn this team into a winner. Not looking at the book saying how much money did we make this year.
I don't think we'll ever hear that. I love to hear it. We're not going to hear that. And we got a little bit of the randomness yesterday. Got a little bit of that. And if you listen to the show, obviously Sal just said we play the cuts, and we did. And we reacted to real time to the cuts. You know, what bothers me about that is, all right, if they won the World Series a couple of years ago, and here we are, it's been 2-3 years since, like when they lost in 2003 to the Marlins, right? If that was kind of the response, now obviously Hal wasn't front and center at that point, but if he was, and that was the response, not that you really want to hear it, but at least it's a little more applicable because the Yankees won in 96, 98, 99, 2000, lost in 01, lost in 03. Now you want to go down the randomness road for a minute? All right, I'll leave you to hear it a little bit. Don't want to hear it now when the last time you won since was 2009. Listen, I've been thinking about this a lot, and we think about the payroll. And one thing that Hal said, and he's not wrong, and I think he said this 2 years ago, maybe 3, and it's been circled back to and reiterated several times since. Hey, we shouldn't need a $300 million payroll to win. He's right, okay? And I was thinking about this. If I was given the chance, would I prefer a team that had elite scouting, which I don't think the Yankees do, elite player development, which I don't think the Yankees do, but they also do always have a top 3 payroll, so they've got an elite payroll, or a team that is more in that, I'm just throwing out numbers, 7 to 12, 8 to 13 payroll range, what the Yankees never will be, understood, but that was counterbalanced by elite scouting and elite player development. Well, then I think that when Hal says you wouldn't need $300 million to build the championship team, I think that there would be an element of truth to that. The problem is the Yankees go deep, but they don't go all in. And the things that we've spoken about for years, when their prospects get here, they're not good defenders. They're not great on the bases. They're not what we thought they would be as hitters. I'm talking about the hitters, not the pitchers. Pitchers have generally been really, really good. And now you look at, well, okay, and you're not going to go that extra $60, $70 million to get the Japanese star, or maybe a Kyle Tucker, or maybe a Tucker and a Bellinger, or a Tucker and a Bregman and get rid of McMahon, whatever it might be. Well, now you have a team that's going to win a lot of games and not win any championships. That's where we're at.
Well, do you need to spend $300 million to have a good team?
No, not if you've got the scouting and the player development, which they don't.
But they also they spend a lot of money in the scouting and player development, maybe more so than anybody else. And if I were to ask you, do you think the Yankees' biggest problem is not spending?
No, absolutely not.
Or lack they're not spending enough?
I think they spend it wrong too much. That's the problem.
So that's a different story. But if that's going to be your argument from Hal, well, we don't need to spend $300 million to build a winner, then why are you continuing to employ the people who continually fall short? And if you just say, well, we won 94 games and it's a crapshoot, I think he's buying the crapshoot nonsense. The other counter to that, because there is a lot of fans just saying, well, we want more, and there's a reason to it. It's not there's not a fluke that the Dodgers happen to win back-to-back World Series and they spend the most. What harm? So while we can all agree that you shouldn't need to spend $300 million or more to have a successful team, I mean, that has been proven. It's not opinion. It's fact. It's been proven.
That's true.
But let me ask you this. What harm does spending more do? For somebody who can afford to do it, what harm can it do? There's no way anybody can tell me, well, no, you shouldn't go out there and spend more money. That's going to hurt you. Oh, no. Buyer beware. That's going to hurt you spending more money. It can't hurt you. The Yankees used to spend a lot more than everybody else, and they also didn't spend it wisely every single dollar, but they moved on from their mistakes, and now we live in a spot where the Yankees are shoving the mistakes down your throat, whether it's Gallo or Hicks or LeMahieu. Pick a guy. They continue to ride these guys out, even John Carlos Stanton, not as a mistake on those levels, but the Yankees' biggest issue is the ball club is not constructed properly. That's not a financial thing. Although the finances could help get rid of some of those issues.
They could dig you out.
The way the Mets have done that over the years. Now, again, they haven't built a successful team to the level that the Yankees have, but at least they're trying by paying some guys to go away, eating some salary.
The pitchers back in the day, sure.
Okay, whatever. And obviously they spend a lot of money, and I expect them to spend more money. It doesn't equate to wins. They won 83 games, but it doesn't mean that spending money is going to hurt you. And also, if your argument, to me, this is the main point. Hal has two choices. Either spend more to compensate for the inability to get over the hump, or get people in here who are going to spend what you allow them to spend better.
That's kind of where I was going, and that's not going to happen. So, we can scream all day. I mean, we've had a million conversations, some very loud ones, about Brian Cashman, and here we are, still no championship, and, Brian Cashman is back here. It's interesting, too, because I was looking at the top 10 payrolls. I'm going to run through all of it here. I'm not even going to give you numbers, just the place, right? So the Mets had the highest payroll, no playoffs. Dodgers had the second highest. They won the World Series. And then you get a little bit of a mixed bag with the Phillies and the Yankees and the Cubs with early playoff exits. The Rangers had the sixth, obviously shedding money with the Simeon deal. Try to do that maybe with other players. We'll see if they deal Seager. Sixth highest, no playoffs. Braves, a lot of injuries. Eighth highest, no playoffs. So you do get a little bit of a mixed bag. But that's the thing, like, if I put myself in Hal's shoes, I could sit here and say I would spend $440 million
right.
if I was the owner of the Yankees. And honestly, me being me, I might. I mean, I really might. But I don't have access to the finances. I believe there's an element of truth to what he's saying. I do think that people think maybe the Yankees make more, but then they do. But nobody wants to hear that. If I was Hal, here's what I definitely would do. I would sit down with Cashman and say, Brian, I am cutting checks year after year after year after year. We don't have a $190 million payroll. We're not down with the Twins or the Pirates or even the Astros at this point. Where the hell is my money going? Like, that's the money question. And because he never probes that deeply, or I'm sure he asks, but never penalizes or punishes Cashman for not spending the money properly, here we are, merry-go-round. It's the same stuff.
Right, so it's twofold. And they are also the New York Yankees. So I don't want to hear the Dodgers. There's no excuse for me to any other team taking the number one brand in Major League Baseball away from the New York Yankees. And the Dodgers have done that. And Hal is, to me, too complacent with either of the two. The money, which he's not wrong, you shouldn't have to spend more than $300 million to build a winning team, or allowing the team who continually wins 90 games, we get it, but thinking that that's good enough and not seeing a little bit deeper through the weeds of we win 90 every year, we get in the postseason.
Yeah.
You have to dig a little bit deeper and say, why aren't we doing what the Dodgers are able to do and have been able to do when we were the Yankees and did that in the 90s?
You allowed them to come in on the stage and swoop the trophy, and again, you're getting a second or a third or a fourth place ribbon, but your brand has been diminished because you've allowed the Dodgers to do that to you, and other teams are trying to do it to you as well. Like, listen, the one thing, this came up a little bit yesterday, like the Yankees, you talk about the payroll, what their valuation is, which is $8 billion, a little bit more. Their revenue generation a year ago was $700 million, which was number one in baseball, and obviously we know what the payroll was, which was obviously very high. Okay, top 3, top 4 in baseball last year, but nobody really knows how much they spend on the minors. And you brought this up, and you're right. I don't have any doubt when it comes to biomechanics and facilities and all the reading this and the digital stuff and the machines that replicate the exact degree that the ball comes out of pitcher X's name for arm for the Red Sox, which they actually have. Not every team has that. I know that they put all the money in there. So that's not even the issue. I'm going to go back to the core issue with the New York Yankees. It's not Hal. It's not what they spend. It's not their commitment to the minors or player development. It's that they got too many people employed who have been here for so long. It's gotten stale. The game has changed, and he refuses to address that. That's the main problem with the Yankees.
And the results, while they are better than your average team, are not good enough for the Yankees. And I talk about, they had the dynasty in the 90s, but it wasn't just that. They were getting to the World Series often in the 2000s as well. So even losing in 2001 and 2003, and obviously winning in 2009. Think about how many World Series appearances the Yankees had in the 90s, from 96 on, and then again in the 2000s, as we just referenced, and then from 2009 on, they made it once. And
that
was,
I know. After they won it, they made it last year. That's it.
That's it.
That's crazy.
One time in 2 decades.
Hey.
That's not good enough for the Yankees, and Hal continues to just accept that it is. So I'm not saying that he needs to spend $100 million more than everybody else.
Me neither.
I'm not saying that he's got to fire Brian Cashman and everybody. I'm saying he's got to do one or the other. You can't sit back and say, we're going to keep doing the same thing and cross your fingers and hope that the results are going to change. Even if you get to the World Series like they did, last year, 2 seasons ago, even if you get to the World Series, that proved to be a one-off. You want the constant success atop the sport, and the Yankees I'm sorry, they're not there when you look at the inability to consistently get to the World Series the way that the Astros have, the way that the Dodgers have. At least 2 other teams have done it way more often than the Yankees have been able to do.
Real quick, Sal, before we get these calls here, the George dynamic is always going to kind of creep in. I know you just mentioned his name before. We try not to go too. First of all, it's so long ago. It's a different sport, and he's not George. We know that. But one of the things about George that drove me nuts when the Yankees were a train wreck, and they were a train wreck for, a lot of years in my childhood, was his petulance, was his, reactive nature, and just he was a loose cannon. I think one of the attributes, now I'm going to compliment Hal, is that he's the opposite of that. And I think when you have owners who are too quick to fire and it's just a recycle, new GM, new coach, new manager, new voice, new philosophy, the building becomes incredibly unstable. So I value the stability that Hal has brought to the Yankees, because while it's been as long of a run without a world championship, as it was during my childhood, which is impossible to fathom, the low points of these Yankees aren't nearly as low as they were with Stump Merrill and Bucky Dent and Dallas Green and all the names that we know if you're old enough to have lived through that. And I appreciate that. This is not to be not thankful at all. But you're right. There's two roads here now. You either have to change the people you employ. He's not doing that this year. Well, you got to go deeper, and you got to spend more money.
BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire, remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Frank is in Monroe starting us off. What's up, Frank?
Good morning. This is the first time I'm calling since 1992.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah.
Nice.
I can't get through. I just don't have the patience. But you hit the nail on the head. Al Steinbrenner doesn't run the team. Randy Levine has the checkbook. If they have to spend, from just using a number, $5, and they need another penny, Randy Levine isn't going to give it to them. He's been Steinbrenner's guy for 25 years, George. He runs it like a business, and that's who calls the shots.
So you think
that's the bottom line.
Yep.
Right, that's fine, Frank, and we do appreciate you taking the call. Man, since 1992, that's a long time in between calls.
My goodness.
I was going to say, kind of getting on that length with the Yankees between championships here. Not as bad for the Yankees as it is for Frank between calls here at the Fan, but we get the point. Yeah, okay, well, Levine's the business guy. Fine. I'm not saying that you got to ignore all business aspects of it. What we know, let's just deal in facts here. Does anybody think the way the Yankees have operated for the last 2 decades, for the most part, has been good enough? To me, it's not, because they're held to a higher standard. So while Mets fans would take the Yankees' success, while many fans would take the Yankees' level of success, meaning be in the playoffs more often than not, win 90-plus games every regular season, have some stars on your team, all that, it's not good enough for the Yankees. And it would be one thing if the Yankees still were the dominant team, but just continued to fall short in the playoffs. That's not what's happening here. They've gotten passed by, whether it's the Mets or the Dodgers as far as the spending goes.
Toronto.
And they've gotten caught by other teams who don't even spend as much to be more consistent, better teams who go further. So there's many layers to the Yankees. I don't want to say failures. I think that's too strong. To the Yankees' shortcomings and losing what once was the predominant team in Major League Baseball.
Well, think about it this way, too. So, you say it and I say it. The problem is they no longer say it. And if they do say it, they don't act on it. If they're not holding themselves to a higher standard, why should we? Honestly, though, that's a question for everybody. Like, we sit here and we say, and I know what you mean, and I said it too, Yankees should be held to a higher standard than the Yankees. Well, why are we carrying the mail for the Yankees?
Well, we're not really, because did you think the Yankees were going to win the World Series going into the year last year?
No.
Okay, me neither. So, we just...
But we throw that line out there very freely, like, well, we should... the Yankees should be held to a higher standard. Yeah, that sounds good, but it's not really applied anymore in 2025. See, that standard's got to be created from within and adhered to from within. Now, going back to the back of the day, it was created from within, and it was adhered to from within, and then it was loosely, pursued from within, which I think it still is now, because they obviously tried. They just don't go as far as we think we need to, as we think that they should. So, held to a higher standard. My standard is this: make the playoffs, get bounced. That's the standard.
Right, but that's just not good enough.
I agree.
Do you think, and especially now with Steve Cohen across town, do you think that if the Mets fail to make the postseason this year, David Stearns will still be employed by the Mets next year? I don't.
I would think no. After last year, if it was 2 years in a row, I would think no.
Well,
but we haven't seen have to react to that. But I would probably say no.
You know for sure the manager's going to be gone. Like, they've already laid the groundwork. Carlos Mendoza's been here for 2 years. One was incredible. getting to the NLCS in year one.
Yep.
The second was not very good, winning 83 games and not missing the playoffs.
Fired his whole staff. You're on alert.
Dude, if they don't win... Now some could say, okay, well, because George had the standards to almost an impossible level, where guys who had won 3 championships in a row were on the hot seat and didn't deliver again.
Ask Lemon and Dick Hauser how that was back in the day.
So maybe there's somewhere in between. Maybe that's where Steve Cohen lies. Who knows? We'll find out. Time will tell. He's only been here, as the owner 5-6 years, whatever it's been for Steve Cohen. But I feel the accountability level within the Mets organization changed since Steve Cohen has taken over. And if they don't win, and he expects to win at the highest of levels when you're spending as much as he does, if they don't win, there are going to be changes made. And the Yankees, while they do have success more often than not as far as the regular season goes, to me, it hasn't been enough to justify keeping Brian Cashman and everybody else in place, dating back to 2021. You're talking about 4 or 5 years later now, and it's the same thing.
I mean, it's almost becoming like talking about the job, like Jay Bowen. I mean, I look at it, and we can do this coming up. I'm going to say this here. So there's the owner, there's the GM, there's the manager, and then there's the actual players. I'm going to assign a little level of culpability to really pinpoint exactly what I mean about this issue with the Yankees.
BT and Sal on the Fan, Sports Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Obviously, you can count on them. We have plenty of football to get to throughout the course of the show. Just getting started here on this Tuesday morning, 888-808-1019.
Who will stay? Who will go? Big questions loom for the Yankees and Mets this offseason. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Since January of 2022, the City of New York has awarded $24 billion in contracts to MWBEs, the most of any U.S. city or state in the nation. Build your business with the City of New York by going to nyc.gov/MWBEs.
Ho, ho, ho. Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I check my list once, twice. All done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Rogue Platinum, 2025 Murano, or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 12/1/25.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action to get you ready for kickoff. Presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of Internet Past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
Kohl's Black Friday deals are here. Grab your coffee and put on your sneakers because it's go time. Through Saturday, save up to 50% on everything from toys to beauty faves, winter styles, and more. Plus, earn $15 Kohl's Cash for every $50 spent. Yep, that's extra Kohl's Cash. So run, don't walk. Just hold on tight to that coffee. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Offers end November 29th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ Sense is a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
MSC Cruises Black Friday sale is here with the best deal of the year. Cruise from $199. Plus, get up to $1,000 onboard credit and kids sail free. Experience MSC Cruises' signature blend of European style and American comfort, from global flavors to Broadway-style shows and more. Book your next holiday to must-see destinations like the Caribbean, Europe, and beyond. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 12/1/25.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT, it's out back on the Fan, starting this Tuesday morning with a little hot stove talk. Plenty of football to get to. So because of the short week, BT and Hoff are both out tomorrow. Somehow, well, BT, you got to go to Dallas. You're flying to Dallas tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be
and
fun on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Dude.
Lucky me.
You know, I've never had to do that before, thankfully. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be here solo tomorrow was my point, but I love being on that day because I feel like most people are going to be driving and traveling everywhere.
Yeah,
but because of the short week anyway, we're going to do a lot of the stuff that we would normally do later in the week today. So you're leaving tomorrow. Well, Hoff, what's your excuse? Why are you out tomorrow?
Well, I screwed up last week with my kids' half day, so I made sure that someone's going to take care of them on Wednesday.
You did not come to us and get that approved, by the way. I don't know what the structure is.
You're not taking batting practice tomorrow? No indoor work
There's
off
no
the
batting
tee?
practice, no.
So now, who am I working with? Dover, you here tomorrow?
I will be here.
Okay, is it just you and I, or do we have anybody else? Rosie. So it's just you and I, basically, tomorrow night.
That's the biggest surprise. He's never here, and the day that we're not here,
hold on a second. On the
he's
holidays,
here.
I'm always here. I'm working Thanksgiving.
Nobody misses more than you. You miss 100 days a year, man.
I feel like I've done Thanksgiving.
Holidays, understand.
I feel like I've worked Thanksgiving with Dove, like dating back 20 years ago. We would work Thanksgiving. You were always on the board.
One of us is a turkey.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Anyway, so we got plenty of football stuff coming up.
We do. By the way,
of-
how about those Niners last night? We get a little update on that perfect parlay. Your boy is on the board.
Notice BT wants to do the perfect parlay revisit today. No, you did cash a 3-teamer. We'll do that later on and give you the point standing. And we'll have the 3-team Turkey Day teaser, which is obviously a special with the perfect parlay pick segment ahead of Thanksgiving. So we'll do that later on. Baldy, as we mentioned before, he'll join us at 12:40, so plenty to do. But we wanted to start with the baseball stuff. And just the idea, because I was thinking about a couple of things off of yesterday with Hal and then listening to Boomer and Gio this morning. Yeah, you don't need to spend $1 billion to have a winner. But if you keep spending $300 million, let's say, and it's not working to the level that you would expect, then you got to change the people who are spending that money. You can't have both.
What are you laughing at? What's so funny?
No, I'm saying in my mind, like, it's the idea that Hal thinks that it's okay to, we can't. We should be able to build a ball club without spending $300 million. You're right. You should be. Yeah. You're not. Then you got to hire the people that could do it, and you're not doing that either.
Yeah.
So what I say is you should be competing to win the World Series regularly, and you're not. I don't care about your fluff 90-plus wins in the regular season. To me, even when the Yankees do, get to the ALCS like years ago against the Astros, we talked about in 2023, it just wasn't good enough. You knew that team was not a legitimate World Series team.
That was a JV team playing against those Astros. My goodness, yeah. So listen, one of the things I said to start the show, if you guys missed it, free Odyssey app. We'll get back to the calls, obviously. Give me a team with a good payroll and elite scouting and elite player development. And to me, that's a better path than an elite payroll, which the Yankees are not number one anymore, but they're always elite. And their scouting and the player development is an issue. So real quick to pay off what I teased before we went to break. Just to assign some levels of culpability here, I broke it down into, and I'll do this quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I broke this down into 6 quick categories. You got the owner, the GM, the manager, the scouting, the player development, and the talent. All right? So to me, I pretty much give Hal the pass because whether it's him and Levine, and there's always an element of conferring, et cetera, but it's his team. Hal's cutting checks. I can't crush him. The general manager has not done a good job. To me, he has not adapted to the modern game, and there's been too many loose moves with that money. So to me, culpability much more toward him than the owner at this point.
Agreed.
I think Boone is good. I don't think he's Miller Huggins. Actually, I think Aaron Boone's really good, especially for New York with all the potential dust-ups and the media. He's incredibly good with the media. He's emotionally consistent. He's fiery for his team. And we wish maybe he called him out a little bit more. But, blasting umps. He shows a little juice and some fire. I have no problem. I've got more of a problem, much more, with Cashman than with Boone. You guys know that. You with me on that?
Yes, but I also wouldn't be giving Boone an A.
I didn't say I give him an A.
Yeah.
I give him a B+.
Yeah, I think he's been good. I don't think he's been the problem. I've said that consistently for a while. Now, I also would have made a change of both of them just because that's how I would operate back in 2021. The first sign of the Yankees going the wrong way, I would have cleaned house then. But I don't think, to me, it's more about the structure, the construction of the ball club, not about the manager.
Okay, so now you get to the scouting, and, listen, it's a very deep rabbit hole. So how they actually, and it's very subjective, obviously, but some teams scout really well and some don't. I don't think the Yankees scout well enough. I think they've been they've been a zero on the international scene for a decade. How much money 16-year-old player, in the DR, 17-year-old kid here, Puerto Rico, well, where the hell are they in terms of being on the actual field? And that's why the Yankees did fire, and the gentleman was tenured for about 20 years who led up their international signings. He just got fired a month ago. So I think the scouting has been bad. I think the player development has been problematic. I don't see enough refined players. Not talking about pitchers, position players, defense, running the bags, not striking out that much. I think that's a problem. And in terms of the talent, I do think because they spend a lot of money, the Yankees generally have enough talent. Now, it's not a well-constructed roster, but you've got, arguably the best player that we've ever seen in Judge and a really good staff. So I can't crush him. So to me, the most culpable would be Cashman because he also oversees the scouting, player development, etc.
Think about it, though. This is a bigger picture thing where we just look at the recent history of the Yankees and it's like, they won 94 games, okay, but they fell short. This has been going on for a while here with their results. To me, since Boone got here, they went to the ALCS Game 7 in a year where they weren't supposed to in 2017. Prior to that year with Girardi, there was an absence of the postseason for a long time.
Yeah, a couple of 80-something wins.
That was bottoming out to the point where, they needed to change things up. So they do that at the 2016 trade deadline. Then somehow they get to, Judge somehow, but in 2017 with no expectations, the baby Bombers got themselves to Game 7 of the ALCS. Since then, it's just been kind of mediocre. And even in the year, I said 2023 before, 2022 was that was the ALCS year where they started out like the 98 Yankees, but they never were really legit.
Another swoon during the summer.
Exactly.
This year.
They missed the postseason after that. 2024, they get Soto. They go to the World Series with an all-time combination of Soto and Judge. And then last year, just not good enough again. So they haven't built the ball club, to me, well enough in a long time. You're talking about years. Yep. This is not by accident. It's not some fluke that, hey, the Yankees just continue to get unlucky in the postseason the way that they would make you believe. It's not that.
I think that's important to lay out, and we have. And one of the differences here, now this is where I'm going to at least, to be fair, I don't know if it's a compliment or just acknowledge here, at least the acknowledgement. So the years that you're talking about, we talk about with Tanaka was the ace and obviously Girardi, 84, 87, 84, 85 wins. And just watching those teams, a couple of years, no playoffs, you just knew they didn't have a whole lot. Jeter was getting older. Jeter was basically done. And then you're moving on and some other, iterations that we'll really never remember fondly. But at least as they bottomed out there, contrast that to the 92 seasons, and that's where it was actually upticking, 76 wins. And the year before that, 71.
Yeah. Well, their bottom is far better than anybody else. I mean, their bottom out is a Mets good year, 84, 85 wins.
I get, and then even with Stump Merrill, the 67 wins, the 74 wins, it was gross. So they're nowhere near that, just to acknowledge that. But they're also nowhere near where they were when they were dominating and they were winning championships. And the Yankees are supposed to be about championships.
BT and Sal on the fan. Mike is calling from Manalapan. What's up, Mike?
Hey, BT and Sal. How's everything going today?
Good. What's up?
What up, Mike?
Dude, I really don't want to hear about Hal complaining about money. You're talking about a guy who's got generational wealth that his father built for him back in the 70s. I mean, really? I mean, come on. Why don't they lower the prices at the stadium? Because they won't do that, but they'll just keep jacking them up for the regular guy. I mean, seriously, he's talking about losing money. He goes, first of all, guys that are that rich don't lose money in business. They're not in business to lose money. Period. End of story. All those outfield signs, it looks like a minor league stadium, and who knows how many envelopes of money he's getting on the side to have them put in the outfield, all that cash that nobody's even talking about.
I don't think he's doing that. Come on, Mike.
You know what I mean?
Let's do this. You want to talk about that minor league system, right? Up until a couple of years ago, there was one major leaguer coaching the whole team. All the minor league system was Shelley Duncan. The rest of the guys were all. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, no, I watched it. Yes, you're right.
Okay. So there you go there, the scouting. You ever seen the Yankees make so many base running mistakes? Lackadaisical base run. BT, you're from Brooklyn. You imagine your coaches back in the day when you played for Ty Cobb and Gil Hodges, you making mistakes like that?
I don't think you have to be from Brooklyn just to run the base as well. They would have lit me up. By the way, I was cadets.
It was a little different back then in the day.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And then these ribbons. Then you talk about ribbons for second and third. Listen, no matter what place you come in, you're always the first loser here. Enough with these ribbons.
The Yankees did get a ribbon this year, Mike. I'm not sure if you saw that, but we tied the Blue Jays.
Now, we don't take ribbons.
We tied the Blue Jays with 94 wins.
Big deal. That doesn't mean nothing to me. You didn't make it to the World Series. It's World Series or bust. That's it. Period. End of story.
Yeah, and by the way, Mike,
make a splash?
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, thanks for the call. Listen, good stuff. Passion, love it. Go ahead. He's taking money. Now Hal's involved with the mafia. He's taking money under the table. God, let that go nuts. I'm pretty sure Hal is quite buttoned up when it comes to his business and doing things the right way. All right. So the thought that they should be held to a higher standard is something that we all subscribe to, and I think we all wish that they would subscribe to more aggressively. That's been said, and that's been played out over years without a championship. But I also don't want to make it seem like there's no middle ground. Like, if the Yankees won a World Series, I'm just throwing this out, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, even 7 or 4, and they had a couple of, you're just running to a better team, you have an injury.
Right.
Like, it's not like this, we have to win every year.
This is different.
It's different. It's about seeing this team and realizing that they're making the same mistakes over and over. And that's the most frustrating part.
It is. And back to the business aspect of it, from Hal's standpoint, do you think that this is a passion play, or does he look at the Yankees as a business? Steve Cohen, for example, I don't think he bought the Mets because he was like, you know what, this is going to be a good investment. He bought it.
He's sticking up those casinos, so it's not a dumb investment.
Well, no, he's not stupid, obviously. But
you get the Mets, you get a little in. He's a Mets guy. He's a Mets fan.
Well, no, forget about even the Mets thing. Any team. I don't think Steve Cohen or a lot of owners. Now, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are many owners who don't buy teams with the idea of making money and look at it as a business. They look at it as, hey, you got billions of dollars like Steve Cohen. This is a chance to become more of a public figure, to compete in a different manner, the competitive nature of it, a passion play, your family, his father-in-law, all that stuff. They love sports and love baseball and love the Mets. When you're that rich, you can buy something as a passion project. And then your main priority in life is, hey, how are we going to build this thing up into the best, not only business possible, but the best organization possible?
Yep.
Hal was given this.
He inherited it. He didn't buy it. He inherited it.
Correct.
Big difference.
And I think he's more of a business guy.
He is.
Versus the passion.
He is.
Of making, but that, understood, and it's not a knock, but to me, it's part of the problem.
Give me a little more balance, you mean?
Well,
I'll take a little more balance.
I know he cares if they win or lose. I don't think he cares more about winning and losing than he does from the business standpoint. And they look at it business-wise. We're the Yankees. We're a brand. We win 90-something games every year. We're in the playoffs more often than not.
Yeah.
But that to me is the fire inside that comes from somebody like George, who built it on his own, or Steve Cohen, who became a billionaire doing the art stuff, whatever, the hedge fund thing, all the art stuff that he has. Like, to me, it's just different when you're in it for a passion play, trying to win and being a competitor, versus looking at it as, oh, let me buy this team because of the business behind it.
Look at Al Davis, okay, and look at George Steinbrenner, and look at Mark Davis, and look at Hal. Now, I would never disrespect.
Hal's got a better haircut than Mark, but yeah.
He's got everything better. I mean, I think Mark Davis is an absolute clown, although we did have like 10 models hanging in the suite with him last time they were. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
It was actually a very funny visual. I mean, if that guy was poor, he had nothing around him. But anyway, to me, Mark Davis he's just not a very smart person. I don't think, and he really had some issues, which for him, I'm happy he's cleaned up. He was just along for the ride, party, and his dad just pulled him along. I think Hal is a brilliant business person, incredibly polished. I think he's the complete opposite of Mark Davis. So I'm not trying to compare those two, but I am. When you go to the Al and the George dynamic, think about how they had to cut their teeth to gain power. It was like their sports didn't even have good TV deals. Steinbrenner bought the Yankees for $10 million. Now, it's a lot of money in 1972, but $10 million. All the refurbishments for the stadium, the new stadium, the Yes Network. Think about all the things that George did and that Al did compared to what Mark and the inheritance that Mark and Hal have. It's just very different. And when you grow up in the penthouse, it's different, is a loose comparison, than growing up in the streets. You don't have that grit.
100%. We'll take a break here. We'll get back to the calls. But when we come back, I want to rank the owners in town. Who care more about the passion versus the business of it?
Okay.
All right, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
We'll go over the owners in this town, rank them top to bottom, from the ones who look at it more of a business versus the ones who look at it as more of a passion.
Look forward to that. We'll get back to the calls as well. 888-808-1019. All right, hey, who's hot in football? Brought to you by Petro Home Services. Jahmyr Gibbs is hot as he went bonkers against the Giants. Helped me hit that triple team, that little 3-team parlays. We're getting that over in the game. Rushing for 219 yards, caught 11 passes, 45 yards there. 3 touchdowns. They beat the Giants. Want to save on heating costs? Well, go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather and live 24/7 service. Count on your local HVAC pros at Petro to stay warm and save this winter. Go to Petro.com now. Get $125 free heating oil or call 888-PETRO02 today. Use propane and ask about special offers. Propane not available in all areas.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Being on a bad team really sucks. It really does. But if they're going to look like that, and they're going to have fun doing it, I mean, I give them all the credit in the world. I give Kafka all the credit in the world for calling some of these plays.
So you know who agrees with you with the field goal is Malik Neighbors, who posted and quickly deleted his thoughts.
Because he wants to win.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer and Science. So with it on the C Sports Minute, the Rams can feast their eyes on the view from my Power Rankings penthouse. One story above the injury-challenged Patriots. Despite tough losses, the Eagles and Colts claim 3rd and 4th, followed by the Bears. Baltimore, Houston, Detroit, San Francisco, and Kansas City round out my top 10 this week. Chiefs Kingdom is giving thanks for sure, as their heroes are not going away. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
Like most car buyers, you want to get the most for your money. That's why more Mazda buyers choose Ramsey Mazda. Get an impressive offer on a new Mazda CX-5 starting at $28,319 during the More to Move You sales event. Over 1,000 new Mazda vehicles to choose from. Visit RamseyMazda.com. Get the most for your money at Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Head to SNY for all the latest offseason news and rumors.
A very busy and a very important offseason for the Mets.
With insider opinion.
What's your take on the deal?
And exclusive access.
Get it going here with Carlos Mendoza.
On Mets Hot Stove, Wednesdays at 6:30, only on SNY.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
This year's Farmer's Almanac warns of a harsh, super snowy winter. So take control of the wet, snowy, and icy conditions with a new set of Bridgestone winter tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Bridgestone winter tires. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
You know by now that you can count on Sundays all season long. And this Thanksgiving, you can count on seconds with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. This year's main course features Dak Prescott and the Cowboys hosting Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
Target's Black Friday deals are delivering big surprises all week long, like 40 to 50% off top holiday gifts, plus thousands more deals in-store and online, all with free shipping. Load up on all the season's must-haves with huge deals on tech, video games, toys, floor care, clothing for the family, and so much more. Hurry! These deals are going fast. 40 to 50% off gifts and Saturday. Only at Target. Free shipping applies to orders over $35.
Hey, Rutgers Nation, the final home football game is just around the corner. Don't miss a moment. It's our last home game of the season at SHI Stadium on Saturday, November 29th, as your Scarlet Knights take on the Penn State Nittany Lions.
This is Coach Shiano. Keep chopping.
Join the fun. The Rutgers Boardwalk turns into a winter wonderland with Santa and all of your favorite holiday characters 4 hours before kick. Rutgers vs. Penn State, Saturday, November 29th, SHI Stadium.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. We'll continue with your calls here, 888-808-1019. So we said before the break, rank the owners. We're talking about Hal, obviously starting the show with Hal, and how I look at him more of a businessman than a passion play owner that prioritizes winning, and not just meaning like you got to go spend $500 million, but you got to hold somebody accountable at some point, one or the other. And I think if you look around at the owners in town, let's start with the football, because I think it's easy to just look at Woody and be like, wow, Woody doesn't know what he's doing. But I believe Woody Johnson is passionate about trying to win. Now, he just hasn't gone about it in the right way. But I don't think Woody is a guy who's looking at the Jets strictly as a business, at least me. Now, I'm just going over football first before actually like ranking them. And I would clearly say the same thing about the Maras, in where I don't look at them. I know that ultimately it's always a business, but I look at the Maras, they're wearing these losses more so than almost anybody in town. And I think it's a passion play for them, even though Wellington handed it over to John or whatever. I still look at John as a guy who wears these losses. His life he bleeds blue, big blue.
Yep.
It's not just, the business of it.
And he's very visible.
Yeah.
Whereas Hal generally is not, where you see Hal once a year.
Where are you with Mara and Woody?
I think that's a pretty fair assessment of Mara. Now, not implying that the ownership has been good lately.
But that's different. We're talking about
I
just
agree.
passion versus
He loves
business.
the Giants. Anybody who debates that has not been living in New York or New Jersey for a long time. I mean, Mara loves the New York football
And
Giants.
when they lose,
loves them.
when they
I think
lose,
it kills her. I think he bleeds Giants blue. It hurts him.
I would put him I might put him at number one as the most passionate owner. I can feel when they lose, it destroys him. And
I'm with you on that.
I don't feel that with every other owner. I think other owners hurt. I think it destroys Mr. Mara the way that things have gone over the last decade.
So we'll see if he's going to be first. I'm not going to put him first yet, but obviously he's going to be in the mix for being first. Now, just to follow up on the Woody thing, a big difference between wanting to win and knowing how to win.
Right.
And when it comes to knowing how to win, Woody is a great failure. In terms of wanting to win, I actually think he's an A. You look at, and by the way, look at the investment that Woody's made. You've been out to Florham Park, right?
I have not.
Jets
I've heard about it. I
facility.
got to go.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I know you saw it on Hard Knocks, whatever. One Jet Drive, the other show that they put on YouTube. And then I know you and I have been there, so I know you've been there, to the Giants facility. The Jets facility dwarfs the Giants. It's not even close.
The Giants was okay.
It feels like 1990-something. I think it's weak myself. So Woody has really reinvested, I think, even a little more in the Jets, maybe than Giants ownership's invested in the Giants. Now, that's about the finances. I think Woody desperately wants to win. The Rodgers move, some other stuff. He doesn't know how. So I think that both of the New York football owners truly, truly want to win. The difference is one name has a lot more respect pertaining to football. That, of course, would be Mara.
Understood. Mara is my number one. Number two,
Are we counting hockey?
I have Dolan in there.
Yeah.
You can put Ledecky in there. I think Ledecky is, and now we get to know this firsthand. Yeah, we get to know that. Well, doesn't the owner of the Devils is the same guy who owns the Commanders and the Sixers, right? Can you just look up his name? I forget his name.
Either way, they're pretty good.
I'm pretty sure though the owner of the Josh something maybe, I don't know. The owner of the Devils is the same as the Sixers and Josh Harris. It is Josh Harris, right? He owns the Harris brand or whatever. They own these. They own the Sixers, Devils, and Commanders.
Let's stick to the five, just because I know I met him. I think he's a great guy. I know he wants to win, but I can't really give you.
I would bet, but we've seen it firsthand. I've been at the Islander games. I think Ledecky wears it. I don't think he looks at the Islanders. Now, again, every owner is going to look at their team as a business in some way, shape, or form, but I've seen him wear the losses and be emotional about the wins. I don't look at him as just a bottom line business guy. He's trying to build that thing up, the area around UBS.
I can buy that.
He would be one of my more passionate owners on there.
He was into it when we sat with him. Like, he wasn't just like, I'm making a ton of money. Like, he was every shot, every deflection. He was into it.
No, he's in the fans, high-fiving fans. And all. I think Woody is similar in that aspect. No, I don't know Woody the way that I got to know Ledecky a little bit. But where would you put Dolan? Or how would you rank Dolan in that?
Boy, it's almost two different rankings. I think with the Rangers, he's pretty much laid out, and now he's laid out with the Knicks because the Knicks, have been at least, certainly on autopilot in terms of being very competitive last couple of years, and he can finally lay out. But for a while, he treated the Knicks and the Rangers very differently. I think that Dolan, for a while, was desperately wanted to change the narrative around his name. Now, did he want to win? Of course, they all want to win, so let's not be unfair to these men. Was he driven to win, or was he driven to remove the mud from his name? Which usurped the other? My opinion, it's just my opinion, I think that he was so in the mud for so many years, going back to the Isaiah stuff and other stuff. I think he was more driven to remove himself from that vitriol, and I think for a minute that actually overpowered his desire to win.
Yeah, I would go more business than passion with Dolan. I think he cares, but I would have him ranked toward the bottom of. I would put Ledecky ahead of him, and I would put Cohen ahead of him. I'm going to put Ledecky 2, being that you threw him in there. I'm going to put Cohen 3. And then, you know what? I got Woody up there as well. I think Woody's on par. I think Woody, yeah, it is tough.
Very tough.
But also, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean just 1 through 5. Like, Mara, as passionate as they come. Ledecky, as passionate as they come. I believe Cohen is on that level. I also believe Woody is on that same level. I think Hal and Dolan are a notch below. However you want to rank them.
More business-oriented, whether it's third, fourth, or fifth, just about a business.
I think Dolan and Hal lean more prioritizing business versus passion. Again, I'm not saying they don't care, because I think that they do.
I got you.
But the others, to me, clearly care more about the passion and the results than they do about the business.
Even if I wanted to push back on Hal, I'm not sure how I can, to be fair. Like, where's the evidence that it upsets him? And I know it does. To what extent? I guess that's really what we're discussing here. But I've never seen a shot of him in his suite, like his dad, standing there ominously, threateningly, or flipping out and being a little, petulant and firing somebody, like a quick reaction. It's the same GM. It's the same stuff. It's the same approach. It's the same fairly monotone delivery. So I'd like to push back a little bit, because the man does win and the man does spend. But I think if he's characterized more as a business person than like a true devout, crazy fan, I'm not going to push back on that, because I don't think that that's true.
BT and Sal on the Fan, working some football to the conversation. 888-808-1019. Just getting started on this Tuesday morning.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
You have to be able to stop the run in the Northeast when you're outdoors. And if you can't do that, you're going to get steamrolled.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
This Thanksgiving, FanDuel is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It's called Pass the Leg. Here's how it works. Start a group build, add your pick, then pass it to your friends so they can add theirs. When everyone's done, you each lock in the group parlay with your own funds, because football is better when it's played and bet together. And to make it even better, everyone gets a 50% profit boost to use on their build. Maybe you'll start your parlay off with a Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown and then pass it to one of your friends. So grab your crew, start your build, and get in on the action this Thanksgiving with Pass the Leg. Visit FanDuel.com/GO. That's GIO to get started. FanDuel, play your game. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
I'm Colonel Callahan of the New Jersey State Police. If you're caught driving impaired, you'll face hefty fines, a suspended license, and maybe even jail time. Worse yet, you might cause a crash that could devastate someone's life. Be responsible. Don't drive impaired. We are all counting on you.
This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of Lyric, and discover the comfort of this spacious three-row Bistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Not like about bringing a bill from AT&T or T-Mobile to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. ¿Y ahora? ¿Qué vas a hacer with all those unwanted bills? Pues, how about a full-scale origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Fuera de broma. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Verizon store in New York City today, and we'll give you a better deal for you and tu familia. Rankings based on RootMetrics root score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Together, let's drive a Paramus Chevrolet. For $447 a month and $2164 due at delivery, lease a brand new Traverse 4D Wagon LT with front-wheel drive for 36 months. Buying, enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/life.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your online traffic. So this Black Friday, get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We're your official station to talk Yankees and Mets. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 11 o'clock. I'm Chris Lopresti. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Also sponsored by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Hal Steinbrenner talking Yankees payroll and working alongside GM Brian Cashman as the winter meetings approach.
I didn't say every year we do a range, but some years going into the winter meetings, we do talk about a range, but that range is rarely come true, as I found, for all the reasons I already talked about. He's going to bring me anything and everything. And, he and his people have to work harder because that's the way I want it, but that's the way I want it.
Meantime, David Stearns looking ahead to what's next for the Mets in the wake of the Brandon Nimmo, Marcus Semien trade.
I would expect us to continue to be active in a variety of spaces to bring players in here. And I think we'll have a better feel for what all of that looks like as we get much farther into the winter and ultimately into the spring.
More college hoops coming up today on The Fan. Rutgers against Notre Dame from Las Vegas. That's on WFAN AM at 12:45, while St. John's takes on Baylor as part of the Player Era Festival. Plus 6-0 Seton Hall will face USC in the Maui Invitational. Fan weather sponsored by Paramus Chevrolet. We have 53 degrees under cloudy skies in Central Park. And with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lopresti.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT, it's out back on The Fan on this Tuesday morning. Thanksgiving week. Hard to believe how fast it goes. 13 weeks now. Going into week 13 in the NFL. I will say, I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, where I'm at in my life. I feel like time is going by at warp speed.
It is.
Dude, What the hell? It used to feel like forever. 13. It feels like yesterday. It was like, the beginning of the season. Yeah, let's hope the Jets and Giants can be good. And here we are going into week 13, obviously with Thanksgiving. And by the way, Thanksgiving has huge games. This is maybe, single Sal used to love the idea of the third game on Thanksgiving. Married Sal with a kid, family obligations. I hate the idea of a third game on Thanksgiving, but this might be the best 3-game lineup that we've had on Thanksgiving since the NFL has gone to that third game. Dude, Lions-Packers, huge game in the NFC North to get things started. Usually that game is like kind
of a throwaway.
Yeah, exactly.
The grandmas back in the day, the stinky Lions are on, whatever.
Exactly. Lions have stunk forever. Agreed. Cowboys, generally the same thing with them. Even when they're good, they're playing the crappy Giants or the crappy Commanders. How many times has that game actually meant something? Now you got the Cowboys and Chiefs. That is an enormous game as it pertains to the playoff picture in both the AFC and NFC.
I'll be there for that one, as I said. I'm going to that game.
That is.
Looking forward to seeing Mahomes.
That's awesome. I'm actually jealous of that because not only are you going to the game on Thanksgiving, which is cool in itself, seeing Mahomes in person.
I've never seen that before with him.
Taylor Swift probably going to be in the building.
No, who the hell is, who is singing? My wife told me. It's actually.
I'm saying Taylor Swift because of Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I don't need to see Taylor Swift.
I'm saying she's going to be in the building. You'd be spending Thanksgiving with Taylor Swift. That doesn't get you excited?
Oh, no, I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan.
Get me excited. Opalite.
Kelsey's
I'm all
getting
into
corny
it.
and she's played out. I'm done with that.
Oh, no way.
I don't need them at all.
Anyway, so that's a huge game. And then even the night game, Ravens, who are battling, they lead the North now, battling Joe Burrow, assuming Burrow comes back with the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, that one, we can spice that up a little bit, but the reality is the Bengals have 3 wins. And yes, Burrow was going to play, so obviously it could be a competitive game there.
Well, having Burrow back to me makes it more appealing.
No question. I'm just talking about in terms of the standings. No, Joe Burrow's an absolute stud. I know Lamar was a little bit banged up again where he didn't practice yesterday, but he's going to play. And by the way, just back to what you said about how time moves quickly, or it seems like it's moving faster as we get older. It actually is. You know why? So when
somebody told me this before, I don't know if you told me this or we've had.
I don't think this has come up with us.
Yeah, like the older you get, the more. Go ahead, explain it.
All right, so well, if I did say it, evidently you didn't listen.
Yeah, no, I don't believe it.
Zoning out when I was talking. So basically, when you're 7 or 8, like the summer seems to go on forever. Oh, July, August, forever. Yet, which is a good thing. And then when you're 7 or 8, Christmas seems to take forever. Oh, when is Christmas coming? Now it's Halloween, pumpkin, turkey, tree up, Santa. Bang, it goes fast. Well, because when you're 7, 8, 9 years old, those 3 months or a month before whatever equates to a much smaller, much larger percentage of your time. Whereas when you become 40, 45, 50, 55 and older, now 3 months, it's just a much smaller percentage of your time on Earth. So it's literally, it equates to the same time, but because you're the ratio, if that makes sense, the percentage. That's what's different.
Somebody has explained that to me. I'm not sure I buy that, even if there is science behind it. And I also just want to go back to the way that it was. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. The reason why I don't buy that, if I were to go back to working at Home Depot, which you never know, if I were to go back to Home Depot and stand behind the register for a 9-hour day, you think that would go fast?
Oh, God. Oh, at this age? No, it wouldn't.
Right, exactly.
So it's the same theory. That's funny.
Real quick on the Thanksgiving game. So you're saying, okay, well, it doesn't matter in the standings for the Bengals, but it does for the Ravens. The other 2 games, Lions-Packers, matter for each team.
Oh, yeah.
The Chiefs-Cowboys matters for each team, and even the Thursday night game, it matters at least for the Ravens. The Bengals are dead at 3-8, but with Burrow back and the Ravens, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say they're even dead. BT, you look at it. I'm not betting on the Bengals, man. They have coughed up so many opportunities.
The Jets beat them. Enough said.
Yeah, I know, but think about it. They're 3-8. They're only 3 games back in the division.
3 games? This isn't like the NL East in September. It's the NFL. 3 games.
But my point is that they have been god-awful. They're 3-8. If they the AFC North, the leaders, the Ravens were not very good either. Yeah. And now they're finally back on track, tied with the Steelers. If the Bengals win this game at 4-8, now you're 2 games back of the lead in that with a win over the Ravens. I forget what happened prior to that. My point is that I'm not looking at the Bengals as a legit team because their defense has been god-awful and they coughed away many opportunities. But with Joe Burrow there, they are a live dog in that game and can impact the Ravens' chances in the AFC North. So all 3 games, they have not played this year. Have they played? Bengals and Ravens. All 3 games have significant playoff implications here. They have not played yet this year, so they still have 2. So let's just say, hypothetically, the Bengals win this game. Dude, the Ravens play the Bengals Thursday night at home.
Yep.
Then they play the Steelers, and then they travel to Cincinnati. The next 3 games are going to make or break the AFC North. And if the Bengals go on a little bit of a run starting Thursday night, you could say that maybe the other teams beat each other up. Let's say the Bengals beat the Ravens, that gets them to 6-6. The Ravens beat the Steelers, that gets them a 6th loss. And if the Bengals win 3 more games, they'll be right there in that division. They play the Ravens at Buffalo, and then the Ravens again before closing out with the Dolphins, Cardinals, and Browns. So obviously not likely for Cincinnati. All I'm saying is there's a chance.
Well, and listen, and when Burrow plays, they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, right.
Even though I think Higgins is out, Chase will play. I believe Higgins is not playing.
Chase
I think I heard that this morning.
The knucklehead.
Yeah, I know. God.
Costing my fantasy team a win.
Honestly, he should have been bounced for more than 1 game. Not even to belabor that now. But you spit on somebody? Come on, 1 game?
Yeah, I mean, you're my fantasy team.
My team
1 game. He should have appealed it. And then maybe sat out this week when I didn't need him as much.
I thought he was going to appeal. Either way, I'm looking at the standings for both conferences, right? And it's just not going to look like this at the end of the year. I mean, now the Patriots very well might be the top seed in the AFC because they still got to play the Jets. And I think they have 1 more Dolphins game, and they're actually very good. And I know you love Denver, and I know Denver's good. I don't believe in them full throttle. I just don't with Bo Nix. I don't believe in the Colts. They're coming off a loss. The Ravens, all right, they're coming off a win. They don't look incredibly impressive against the Jets. If Breece Hall doesn't fumble at the 2, the Jets are down by 3 points with 6 minutes to go. Who knows what happens? Lamar's been jacked up all year. I don't trust the Chargers. This is in order of playoff berth right now. I don't trust the Chargers. Don't trust the Jaguars. Don't trust the Bills. Texans I don't trust, but at least they're kind of going in the right direction. Rodgers is jacked up. The Chiefs are in 10th place, and they got some tough games. They could lose Thursday. So that's just the AFC. Now, I think right now, I did this a little bit at the end of the Jets pod on Killable on Sunday because I just can't do a long pod on the Jets at this point. So I've got to incorporate some other NFL stuff. And I came to the determination that right now, the team that I've got the most faith in is the Rams.
Yep.
The Rams. Now, the second team, it's a little debatable. I'm not really sure yet, but the Eagles, you're up there. First of all, they couldn't score up until this past week. They finally light up the scoreboard. They get out to a 21-zip lead, and they flush the lead down the chute. I'm not totally buying the Bears. Obviously, the Bucs are a playoff team, but Baker's jacked up, and even with him, they're not that good. I like Seattle. Don't love them. Packers, don't trust them. Niners getting healthy, but don't trust them. Lions, I don't know what to think of them. And right now, the Panthers are 2 spots out of a wild card. And the Panthers are special. Nobody thinks that. So there's a lot of volatility, which is fun. I think it's good. But what I'm saying is when we get to 3 weeks from now, I think this playoff situation is even more jumbled than it is right now. It's a mess.
I think I said this last week, the Super Bowl representatives coming from the NFC West, I think it's going to be the Niners. I know they weren't overly impressive last night. Sloppy game. I think the Niners, when all said and done, are going to be the best team in the NFC. And all it takes is one game to upset. Right now, I think it is clearly the Rams. I think you can make a good case for Seattle. Costos was on them ahead of anybody else this year. At the beginning of the year, I was like, Seattle, what? But they have been really good. I just don't buy Sam Darnold. Purdy was god-awful last night, but I still think ultimately the Niners, with their coach, with the ability to run the football the way that they do, and I don't trust Chicago at all. I know their record's very good. I don't trust them. How could you trust Green Bay or Detroit? And like you said, it's going to be a huge game on Thursday. Looking forward to that. I don't trust the Eagles. I don't know how you can. I know they've been winning. They're 8-3, but come on. They just showed you. I've been picking against them all year long. Finally got one right when Dallas came back to beat them. But up 21-0, you're thinking, you know what? I concede. The Eagles are one of the best 5 teams in football. And then they blow that game. So they're good, but I don't trust anybody in the NFC as much as I would in the NFC West. I think it's coming down to, me personally, I think it's coming down to the Rams or Niners. Obviously, the Rams are going to have an advantage because they have a 2-game lead right now in that division.
Well, you'll like this. The next 2 games for the Niners at the Browns. Yep. Shador's going to start that game. Yep. And then they got a bye week, and then they got Tennessee at home. So they're going to be 10-4, and then they finish up at Indy. It's a Monday night game, flip a coin, whatever. Then you got the Bears, then you got Seattle, both games at home. So they are going to be 10. They're going to be an 11, possibly a 12-win team, which seemed pretty unlikely a couple of weeks back. And by the way, Purdy last night.
Yeah.
That was as bad a sequence with the 3 picks in the first half. You could have had 3 more. I know he's rusty. Brock, that was I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback look that hard.
Yeah, that's bad. And you can't credit the Panthers' defense. Purdy's got to be better than that. All right, BT and Sal on the fan. Let's get back to the phones. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Jeff is calling from the Bronx about his Yanks. What's up, Jeff?
Hi, how you guys doing?
Good.
What's up, Jeff?
Yeah, man, listen, I'm tired of Cashman. Cashman is a two-face. This is the same guy that says he does not believe in cold streak, hot streaks that you are what the back of your baseball card says. Am I correct?
I don't really know that I've heard him say that, but they seem to subscribe to that organizationally, so probably at least a loose interpretation. Keep going.
Okay, so what happened with Trent Grisham?
What do you mean?
This guy, this year, fine, he went crazy, 35 home, but this guy, he's horrible, BT. This guy's horrible offensively, and he gave him $22 million.
I didn't want him back.
They're saying that he hopes that he thinks he could do it again.
I don't want him back, Jeff. I was on the record. I did not. No, I was wrong. I didn't think he would sign the QO. I thought somebody would give him 3 years, 70-something, whatever. I was wrong. I wish the Yankees never offered it. I do not want. Now he's on the team, so it doesn't matter. But that's not a good thing to me. He can't hit lefties. He's going to hit 195 to 220 this year. It is what it is, and his defense isn't what it used to be.
BT, but you know what? He's going to take it because you know what? Everybody knows what player he is. Nobody in their right mind is going to give him all that money.
Maybe. And maybe that's why he did it. His agent had the intel.
And looking out, and next year with the thing with the lockout that is pending, he'd be crazy not to take it.
All right, well, forget about Grisham. He's not going to make or break the team. What else you want them to do? I mean, that's one move right there. I don't think it's as bad as everybody else is making it seem, as long as it doesn't get in the way of making other moves.
But you know what? Listen, they're going to bring back the same team. He's not going to waste more money. He's not.
Well, that's not good enough then. Then that's not good enough.
It's not. It's horrible. And you know what? And you know whose fault that is? It's our fault. Because no matter, he does the same thing every year. Cashman does the same thing every year. And guess what? That stadium is always full to the max every year. They get their money. They don't care.
I don't know if I'd say they don't care, and thank you for the call,
They care.
Jay. Yeah,
Maybe not as much as us, but they care.
Well, does Hal care enough to change something when the results aren't up to our standards? They can say that they have the highest of standards, but their actions aren't in accordance with that.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how they would dispute it. The only thing that they could say, and it sounds foolish to even when I hear myself say, the only thing that they could say is, well, we win 90-plus games every year and are in the postseason more often than not. But if you actually look at it over the course of the last 5-6 years, hasn't been good enough. Whether it's the lack of competition, quality competition in the American League, and now the gap has been closed and the Yankees have fallen a little bit because of that. The Yankees getting the World Series after trading for Soto, they let Soto. Like, think about what happened. Instead of trading for Soto and keeping him and having the Judge-Soto tandem and building around that to become a true powerhouse.
Yep.
Now, I know that it wouldn't have been a perfect fit. You would have to move Soto to left, whatever. I know but the point is, those two were an incredible tandem. Everybody got excited about it. And it wasn't a fluke that pairing those two together got them to their first World Series since 2009. The idea would have been to keep that star power and incredible historic tandem together and then build off of that. And they didn't. They let Soto go for multiple reasons, whatever. They didn't want to go to where the Mets went. Okay, fair enough. And they built a good team, but clearly not good enough to the point where they got beat by the Blue Jays, for goodness sake. Not even by, some powerhouse in the American League or the ALCS. They got beat by the Blue Jays, a team who they've historically owned. And not to mention that even if they got there, would they have really competed with the Dodgers at that level? So the Yankees now are trying to retain Bellinger and maintain the level that they were at last year, which was worse than they were at the year before. They're going backwards.
Let me ask you something here. Let's say the Yankees whiff on Bellinger. What do? We got to push it forward. So the things
they got to get Tucker then.
Okay. But do you think
Yankees.
they would?
Well, it's the Yankees.
Cursed again,
yeah,
Getting loose out here.
I know.
All right, so
playing free and easy. I don't know why.
Yeah, I hear you.
Too much podcasting, I think.
If they don't get Bellinger, and I think most of us still think he's coming back, but you never know. It takes one rogue offer for the Yankees to maybe say, that's a little more than what we want to do, and he bounces, right? Let's just say he's not here. Yeah, we could all say they should get Tucker. But do you think that they would come with 11 years, $400 and something million to get Tucker?
Anything less would be uncivilized. Yeah, they can't. Really, BT, it should be Bellinger back and Tucker. You could move Bellinger to first, have him play a little outfield, or get Kwan and Bellinger, or get Tucker and Kwan. It can't just be, let's bring Bellinger back and make that like that's some big coup and the Yankees have gotten better. No, it's got to be more. And at my core, and I admit, I have been brainwashed from growing up in the dynasty years. I still believe the Yankees are going to go all in at some point. I don't understand how they don't think that they need to. It doesn't mean just go spend absurd money, but it means building this ball club in a much better way. They went from the World Series in 2024 to a lesser team last year. You can't now take another step backwards and hope that you're going to roll the dice and get lucky in the postseason. You need to, Jazz is going to be back, Ben Rice at first base, Volpe and Caballero at short, McMahon at third, Wells and Rice at catcher, Judgy in right, Grisham back in center, Dominguez or Spencer Jones in left. What's changing then?
Listen, I could make the case. Nobody wants to hear it now. And I've said this, and I do believe this, but I do want to get to the greater point. But this is probably more important to them than to me, but it is a real thing. It's not a figment of their imagination. You're going to get, in all probability, I'll be conservative, 25 starts from Cole and 25 more from Schlittler.
Right.
If you would have had that a year ago, do you win the division? You probably do. Again, that's not for me to mount the defense against what they've done. It's just the reality.
But maybe somebody else gets hurt. That's how pitching is.
That's fair. No, that's true.
I mean, yes, in theory, on paper, sure. On paper, everything sounds great. And then in reality, it's like, this guy blew a gasket. This guy's out.
Well, that's why I really want to get to what I really want to get to. And you just ran through a lot of the names, and I was jotting them down when you were doing it. I want you to give me a percentage, all right, of the opening day lineup being what I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
Not the batting order, just dancing around the field.
Yeah.
Rice at first, Jazz at second, Caballero, and then eventually Volpe at short, McMahon at third, Wells behind the plate, Grisham in center, Judge in right, Dominguez or Jones in left, and Stanton as the DH.
No way. There's no way.
Okay, but give me a percentage. So no way means zero?
I'm 10%. 10% that that's happened.
Okay,
I'm almost at zero.
Okay, you might be.
I don't know. I'm just saying, Mike, I can't. So
I
I'm
would
gonna
go really low too.
Yeah.
So, but now let's look at what and I tell my kids this all the time. Control what you can control.
Yeah.
The Yankees can't force the Guardians to trade Quan.
Right.
They can't force him.
Oh.
They can entice him with a ridiculous offer, but you can't say you're trading him no matter what.
Your
All right,
lineup
so you
didn't
don't
even have
control
Bellinger back, by the way.
Well, that I know.
Okay.
Oh, that's
so you can control that.
Yeah,
Bellinger.
yes, unless there's a different state that he wants to live in or a different situation that he wants to jump to that you can't. Maybe you can entice him to sacrifice whatever he might want to jump into with, $3, $4, $5 million a year, which I wouldn't do for. I love Bellinger. Let's not get nuts.
Yeah.
He's not Judge. He's not Soto. He's not Ohtani. He's really good, and they need him.
Now you sound like
I'm not going
Cashman.
nuts.
I mean, what are you applying for? DON job? Department of Goods?
If I was, I'd be the head of it, and I'd change things up a little bit. I'd take the computers, I'd smash a few, I'd leave a few, and I'd reprogram the damn thing.
I could see that. You and Booney hand in hand and leading the DON.
All right, so you can't force the Guardians to trade Quan. We know that. Now, they might get him, but you can't force him to. You can't force Bellinger. You can't stick a gun to his head and say, sign this contract, okay? So you can't say it's 0% what I just laid out happens. And everybody else that I mentioned is under contract. So that is it's a very small percentage, but if Bellinger's not here and they don't have the appetite for Tucker, which I think is possible, that could be the lineup.
And if that's the lineup, then that's an embarrassment.
I'm going to go absolutely insane.
I don't care how good the pitching is. That would be an embarrassment. I mean, I could have said the same thing to you with the Mets. Well, what are the odds that Soto's in right, Nimmo's in left, and everybody was like, well, yeah, Nimmo's going to be back. Where's he going to go? And boom, all of a sudden they traded them. You can do it. It's a matter of how much the Yankees are willing to do and take a look under the hood and say, okay, how can we get a little creative here and reconstruct this team? I think a simple one is Quan. It's very simple. You're not keeping Dominguez and Jones. There's no point to that.
I agree with that.
So call up the Guardians and say, well, what would it take to get Quan? You could have one of these two plus some lower level guys. I don't even know what it would take, but at least you're now cleaning up from an area of abundance. The ideal situation would be to trade Spencer Jones to Cleveland, let them take him on. You keep Dominguez, and I would keep him in the minors, hope to get him right and ready to then contribute at the big league level if and when needed at some point throughout the course of the year. You put Quan in left field, you have him bat leadoff. Problem solved. You have a leadoff hitter. That makes the Yankees better immediately. One simple, cost-effective move to trade for Quan solves two problems. Gold Glover in left field, leadoff hitter.
I
Good
agree.
God.
We've talked, it's really one of the better ideas you've had.
Yeah.
It's not a long list. It's one of the better ideas, and you've been on this before anybody. You said this during the summer, man. All right, but back to the mantra of controlling what you can control. You cannot force them to trade Quan. You cannot force the Tigers to trade Skubal, nor can you force the Pirates to trade Skeen. So when you say Dominguez and Jones cannot be on this team next year, I agree conceptually.
Well, they both won't fit, factually.
But I actually think that there's a chance that they are, because if Quan, Skubal, and Skeens aren't dealt, one of those guys would be in one of those packages, if not both.
And you said Jones could play center. Is that what you were saying?
They told me they like him much better in center field than they don't look at Dominguez as a center fielder.
So Dominguez would be left
field.
Jones would be center.
Correct.
Grisham would be one or the other.
Well, Grisham's center.
Yeah.
Grisham's a center fielder.
Well, I'm just saying.
Now the other caveat, the other thing that was told to me, if they do go to camp and it's Joe, and this I don't think this is ideal at all, because that means you missed out on Bellinger or Quan, whatever. But if it is Dominguez and Jones fighting for it, it would probably be fighting for left field. because you would be...
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then obviously, Grisham in a year is gone. With Grisham, maybe doesn't play against... although Jones is a lefty, so...
By that time, Jones will be, what, 30, 31?
Yeah, he's going to be 32 years old when he comes up.
BT
He
and Sal.
finally made it.
BT and Sal, the Fan. More of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
MSC Cruises Black Friday sale is here with the best deal of the year. Cruise from $199. Plus get up to $1,000 onboard credit and kids sail free. Experience MSC Cruises' signature blend of European style and American comfort. From global flavors to Broadway-style shows and more. Book your next holiday to must-see destinations like the Caribbean, Europe, and beyond. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. One legendary name, two exceptional destinations.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You know by now that you can count on Sundays all season long. And this Thanksgiving, you can count on seconds with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. This year's main course features Dak Prescott and the Cowboys hosting Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 12/1/25.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
RU fans, it's basketball season. Make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights hardwood action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights basketball is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Like most car buyers, you want to get the most for your money. That's why more Mazda buyers choose Ramsey Mazda. Get an impressive offer on a new Mazda CX-5 starting at $28,319 during the More to Move You sales event. Over 1,000 new Mazda vehicles to choose from. Visit RamseyMazda.com. Get the most for your money at Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
All right, BT and Sal back on The Fan. We'll get back to the calls here. 888-808-1019. First up, time for the St. John's. The Johnny's Report, exclusively on the BT and Sal Show, brought to you by Sullivan Papane, New York Strong. From the court to the community, remember the name, Sullivan Papane. All right, Johnny's, let's go here. Did not like what I saw yesterday. Listen, tough loss here. Yesterday, it is a stacked field against some of the best teams in the country. They lost to Iowa State. Now, the one thing, I've said this a few times, one thing about St. John's this year, I never thought they'd replicate last year's 31-5. It just didn't seem doable. So many new pieces, tougher schedule, and I do think that St. John's is going to be really, really good this year. They're just having a rough time finding their identity. I don't know what it is yet. A couple of quick observations that I have. Obviously, the point guard is I think, a very detectable one for a lot of fans. Dylan Darling, I love him, but I'm not sure he's a 30-plus minute a game guy at point guard. And some of their shooters haven't really gotten loose yet. But the thing that I do notice, and they'll get another chance today, playing at 4:30 against Baylor out there in Vegas. But Zuby, who's amazing, and Bryce Hopkins, who's also amazing and healthy, coming in from Providence in the portal, I don't really see them. I almost feel like Hopkins early on is in Zuby's way, and Zuby is acquiescing to let Hopkins get comfortable, which I get and I respect. But I do need to see a little more defense. St. John's lost yesterday because they didn't box out. They did not get enough rebounds. And the one thing that this team had last year, they had a couple dogs. They had a couple dogs there. Kadari Richmond, dog. Davion Smith, dog. Now, right now, I still see a couple of puppies that need to get out of the kennel and get a little tougher, which I think they will. But I'd like to see them bounce back, beat Baylor today, 4:30. And that is the Johnny's Report. And again, brought to you by Sullivan Papane. Remember the name, Sullivan Papane.
Did they play Syracuse at all this year?
No, I wish.
Yeah,
I wish that rivalry was still going on.
I was just watching highlights of Kion Anthony, man. Woo!
What's his numbers? I've seen some highlights out. They're really good. I can actually get them for him.
I don't know. I was just looking at, I guess Melo was on hand. Lala was on hand. I've always been a big fan of Lala. She was wearing the Kion jersey. It's so weird because I watched their show. What the hell was the name of that reality show?
Years ago.
Yeah, a while ago. With Lala Anthony was the star of the show.
Grown Up Mello?
No. It was something with Lala. But Lala and Kion was a young kid.
He was.
I remember watching him as just a young kid, never thinking that he would be a big time player. And I guess he's legit. This is not one of those LeBron situations, I think, with his kids.
It could have gone anywhere.
Lala's full court. There you go.
Is that what it was called?
Lala's full court.
He could have gone anywhere. I want to see what he's doing. I know he's a top recruit. He is averaging, 14 points a game, playing big minutes, right around 30. You know, it's crazy. Not to spend a lot of time on this, but think about when we were growing up and think about the old Big East and Syracuse, etc. Of course, St. John's, Georgetown, but a lot of teams that have left Pitt. You got Boston College. You look at these conferences now, and I can't stand it. I like the ACC. Syracuse is in the ACC.
Yeah.
With Cal. And I mean, you're talking about Cal and Stanford and Notre Dame, and it's just, what they've done to college sports is almost unforgivable.
There were a couple of trades. BT and Sal on the Fan. Excuse me, not a couple of trades, but a couple of notes that I wanted to get to. One trade involving the Red Sox. Did you see this come across here? I saw Heyman tweeted.
I don't think I saw this.
Red Sox have acquired Sonny Gray. So Sonny Gray back in the AL East. And also the reason why I wanted to bring it up is the Red Sox, there were reports, I think it was The Athletic who had this first, Red Sox interested potentially in JT Realmuto, a guy that Hoff brings up, a guy that I wanted the Mets to get many years ago, a guy who I would want both the Mets and Yankees to get, or the Mets or Yankees to get now. I still think that there's value in Realmuto. You're not going to have to pay a ton for him as he's aging, but he's still one of the better catchers in the sport. Catching is hard to come by. And I know the Yankees think that they have their answer with Wells and Rice. To me, it's not good enough. And the Mets think that they have their answer with Francisco Alvarez. To me, that's not good enough. You bring in Realmuto, you could have him catch at least half the time. You have Alvarez DH a little bit if you need be. Catchers you want to keep fresh anyway. Alvarez always hurt, unreliable. I'm not saying I'd give up on him, but I think the addition of JT Realmuto, depending on the cost, I'm looking at it as probably a one-year deal. I don't know that he would get much more than that.
Probably not.
I would be
1 year,
interested.
12, 13, something like the Goldschmidt got a year ago, something like that,
Whatever.
maybe-ish neighborhood.
Anyway, Red Sox potentially interested interested in him as they try to, make their ball club better from where it was a year ago to try to go further. Something maybe the Yankees should take notes on.
They got to get some sticks in there. I got some young players. We've talked about this. I think they'll make a really bold offer for Pete. Whether or not Pete takes it, I don't know. We'll see about Bregman. They should go for both, not either or. It should be and. And I don't know if you have this in your notes. Did you see what the Japanese star who just one of the stars who just put
I did.
Do you see what he said about?
I did. It gives me.
Go ahead. Well,
it gives me a sports semi.
It's
when
phenomenal.
I saw that yesterday, I love it.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, you had the whole quote up there. Or no?
I got the article. Yeah. He said that he wants nothing to do with the Dodgers. And he said that he wants to. I'm actually getting the quote. Here it is. All right, 45-day posting window. Here we go. He said that he wants to, I'd rather take them down. That is a quote. Now, he laughed when he said it. Of course, I'd enjoy playing alongside Ohtani and Yamamoto and Sasaki, he said. But winning against a team like that and becoming a world champion would be the most valuable thing in my life.
I want him.
Wow, me too.
I saw that. I want him. I hope he's a Met or Yankee. I mean, preferably a Met because I root for the Mets, but Met or Yankee would suffice. Now, I know some of the numbers were not great with him, or there's some belief, he's not going to be Yamamoto, but still, with that attitude, I love it. Hop, you said you have something here?
Yeah, I know. I have a question. So Ohtani is from Oshu, Japan, and Amai's from Kanuma, Japan. Is that like the east side, west side? Is that like, is there like a set rivalry between the two?
Like a little Biggie and the West Coast faction, perhaps? I don't know.
You're asking the wrong guy. Maybe BT is more cultured and educated in this manner.
I'm pretty good geographically. That I cannot answer. Right. I have no idea about the proximity of those two places in Japan.
Something else you could not answer was who was performing on Thanksgiving. People are texting me about this.
Oh, Post Malone.
There you go.
There you go.
Post Malone. Hoff.
Yes.
That's our guy now, all of a sudden.
Yeah, we ran into one of his collaborators, so we had to get him on.
Sat next to him at WWF at the Monday Night Raw thing.
Did he? Is he the one who left gum on your seat?
No, I don't think so. It could have been his son, maybe. But
by the way, they all look the same. The collaborator, Jelly Roll, Post Malone.
Is Jelly Roll is he and Post Malone like buddies or
they
what?
Should be. They got the same tattoos. They got the same facial beard and stuff like that. Like
he shaved it off, Jelly.
He did.
The other day, shaved it all.
Looks weird, right?
He's very thin. Looks different. Yeah.
But what is? I'm confused about the face
tats.
Yeah, the face tats and all that because you're right. Like Hoff, we notice this guy. Now I'm just in my own world there, and then Hoff notices him and hears him. Hoff, this is what a good producer does. Overhears this guy talking about something, and he's like, "Oh, hey man, did I hear you say something about Post Malone?" And then they become buddies, and then they're exchanging numbers. He was a very nice guy.
Look at the producer instincts kicking in.
But then after seeing him, I'm like, oh, well, it makes sense because Hoff's right. He looks exactly like Post Malone. The facial hair, the tattoos on the face. Is that is that? What is that? What's the deal with that?
I think they got it from Mike Tyson, but they adapted to okay.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? The Jelly Roll look, is that is that a certain geographical location? Is that you know what I'm saying?
I do.
I thought face tats were
the face tattoos.
Thing.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure they originated in prison. I think the teardrop is is symbolic of obviously
of
something, a murder. I mean,
like how many kills you have?
I think. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I think.
Well, Jelly went to prison supposedly.
He did?
Yeah, it says here. I mean, again, this is only AI, but it says that his regrets first time in prison.
Huh. So maybe it is. Anything I said about Jelly Roll or Post Malone, retract, please. And do not put that up on the free Odyssey app. I love those guys, and I'm forever fans of them, and I think their face tattoos look tremendous.
Face tattoos are nuts, man. They really are. They're absolutely nuts. They're scary. That's a different level scary.
But anyway, you can see Post Malone live in person.
Yeah, I know I am.
BT. So much for the rescue.
We're going to see him.
You, Jen, Colton, King, BT. Come on, you couldn't hook up your family? I mean, come on, you're big shot BT.
I got the 4 tickets. There's 13, 14 people in Dallas. What am I going to get 13, 14 tickets from the Cowboys and Mahomes? You nuts? I just got jet tickets. I sent my in-laws to Augusta. I mean, I handle my end. They can get the tickets.
I don't have any issue. Come with me.
Neither do I. I got mine. So I really have no issue.
I'll be there. BT and Sal, the Fan Warrior calls. We come back. Actually, we got a little bald-face truth, bald-face lie with Hoff. We have Brian Baldinger coming up. We got to get into the perfect parlay pick segment, the recap of that. What else we have to do today? Oh, yeah, the Turkey Day teaser. So there's a lot going on here on this Tuesday morning.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
New York Giant fans got their wish. After yet another fourth quarter defensive collapse, you guys have gotten some more blood that you were looking for. Shane Bowen will now be a footnote in the decrepit run of bad football we've seen the last few years.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Florida State is keeping Mike Norvell for 2026, and the truth is pretty simple. This is an expensive year to fire a coach, and Norvell's buyout is huge. With the coaching market about to explode, FSU isn't eager to cut another massive check. So despite the struggles, the Seminoles are sticking with Norvell and hoping fixes in recruiting and player development are a lot cheaper than starting from scratch. I'm Maggie Gray.
Need to sell your house fast? Whether you're facing foreclosure, stuck with bad tenants, or just ready for a fresh start, House Buyer Network can help. We buy homes as is for cash. No fees, no commissions, no repairs. Get a fair cash offer in just 24 hours and close in as little as 7 days. Call 833-719-5877 now for your free no-obligation offer. That's 833-719-5877. House Buyer Network. Fast cash, no hassle.
Offers are typically below market value in exchange for speed and convenience. Call for details.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
This Thanksgiving, FanDuel's introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It's called Pass the Leg. Here's how it works. You start a group build, and then you pick. You pass it to your friends so they can add theirs, and when everybody's done, you each lock in the group parlay with your own funds because football's better when it's played and bet together. And to make it even better, everybody gets a 50% profit boost to use on their build. Maybe you start a parlay off with a Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown, and then maybe pass it off to one of your buddies. So grab your crew, start your build, and get in on the action this Thanksgiving with Pass the Leg. Visit FanDuel.com/BT to get going. That's FanDuel. Play your game. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure. And when you win, get paid right away. Of course, FanDuel's the official sports book of the Fan, WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions to apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Cloudy with rain in the late afternoon, high 56 degrees.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need dummy rinse tonight. And I need it more. I can't myself in, and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark. The sweating dead short smells like a dark heart. And I dummy rinse it tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
house.
Cars for Kids reminds you time is running out to donate your car for 2025. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS now to secure your 2025 tax deduction and vacation voucher. That's CARS with a K.
Sullivan Papain is one of New York's best personal injury law firms, according to U.S. News & World Report. As general counsel to the New York City Firefighters Union, Sullivan Papain is New York's team, fighting for New Yorkers and our city's bravest. Sullivan Papain is also a proud sponsor of the St. John's Red Storm. Grab your Johnny's Rally Towel and get fired up with Sullivan Papain at every St. John's home game this season at the Garden. Find Sullivan Papain online at triallaw1.com. That's triallaw1.com. Remember the name, Sullivan Papain.
This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of Lyric and discover the comfort of this spacious three-row Bistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
Now, time for Bold Face Lie, Bold Face Truth with Brenton Tierney and Sal Licata.
Oh, yeah.
BT, it's out back on the fan. Little Bold Face Truth, Bold Face Lie. Hoff, what do you have for us on your final day before taking off for the holiday?
Thank you very much. Well, listen, let's start here because we heard from Hal Steinbrenner yesterday, and we also heard from David Stearns yesterday. So, BT, Bold Face Lie, Bold Face Truth. The Yankees will spend more money adding to the roster than the Mets this offseason.
Then the Mets. I didn't think you were going there. I'm trying to do a quick calculation here. Let's see. Bellinger's going to be loosely around 30. A little bullpen tweakage here. I don't really see any other big thing. I'm going to say that that's a bold-faced lie. I think that, whether it's a combination of Pete and Bellinger or Pete and Tucker, Pete and Devin, Pete and Diaz, we're counting player retention. No, I'm going to say bold-faced lie. I think the Mets will actually spend more than the Yankees.
Now, we're talking about per year? Like, we're just talking about total.
This year, how much more money are they going to spend this year?
Because
will they spend more than the
let's just play this out. So let's say the Yankees sign Kyle Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a massive contract, which if the Mets bring back Diaz and Alonso and Bellinger per year, it's going to beat what Tucker gets. But overall, I don't know if those three would add what Tucker's going to be, plus you assume whatever other, does Grisham count in this $22 million? Like, is that,
I think he's got
part
to.
of it? I would still say it's a bold-faced lie. I think the Mets are going to spend big here. I think the Mets are bringing back Alonso. I think they're bringing back Diaz, and I think then some. It could be a trade, though. It could be maybe they go get Byron Buxton and then have one of the young guys play left field. I don't think it necessarily means because Nimmo's gone, they're going to spend on Bellinger or Tucker. It could be that, but I think the Mets are also, they're going to supplement their team the rest of the lineup. Also, the pitching. Like, the Mets have
they need
to.
pitching, my God.
The Mets are going to spend an inordinate amount on starting pitching alone. I think it's clearly the Mets, but I could make a case that the Yankees have the biggest contract in Kyle Tucker, assuming that they get Tucker.
Well, Huff, just to be clear, now do you mean like when we go to opening day, when we look at the payrolls, it's like Yankees are here, Mets are here, or is it just what they allocate this winter?
Right now, from here on out, how much are they going to spend towards players?
That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
And I would agree with him because they've got more pitching and the reasons that I'm going to say Mets.
What else you got?
All right, I disagree with both of you. That being said,
You think the Yankees, huh?
I do, yeah.
What do you think they're going to do? I mean, Tucker's got to be involved in that if that's the case, no?
They think they have room for an outfielder. They need a first baseman. I don't think Ben Rice is going to be everyday first base. And you're going to probably get a high-end closer or relief pitcher. And I don't think David Bednar is going to be your closer.
Oh, he's definitely going to be the closer.
What about
Edwin Diaz is still out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees are in.
What about the Mets' needs for pitching?
Yeah, who's going to pitch for the Mets next year?
Yeah, I mean, they might get Jose Quintana for $5 million if they wait around for 6 months.
Right. I mean, what are you, Joe B? All of a sudden, the Mets are saving money?
Watch David Stearns? Listen.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, here's the thing is, I listen to David Stearns, and then I see what he does.
Right.
You could say a lot of BS.
You wanted Nimmelgard more than anybody.
Oh, I'm happy about that. That's
you should
fine.
be kissing his feet, David
I'll kiss
Stearns.
his ass. I'm okay with that. But that doesn't mean that he's going to go out there. Did you hear him? Did you hear the question about him and could you sign Edwin Diaz and Pete Alonso and get another high-level player? He goes, sure.
Yeah, okay.
That means to me he doesn't want to commit to anything.
That's better than what you would have gotten prior where it's like, I'm not so sure we could do that. I think that's asking too much. He said, sure. He may not want to, but sure. All right, go ahead. Second one here.
Jesus. Yeah. All right. Sal, Ballface Live, Ballface Truth. The Rangers will finish with a worse record than the Devils and Islanders at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's a bold-faced truth. I have not been paying much attention to it. I firmly believe the Devils and Islanders are better than the Rangers. Breaks my heart to say that, but I don't think I have no faith in the Rangers here. Do you, Hoff? I would say that is a bold-faced lie. Right now, the Rangers are in last place in the Metro. Now, it's close, I know, as far as the points go. Rangers have 24 points, Isles with 28, Devils with 29. I just think the Devils and Islanders are better. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. It pains me. I said this earlier in the year, that I don't think the Rangers are on par with either the Islanders or Devils, so I don't believe that they will have as good a record.
Yeah. No, I'm just teasing. I think that the Devils, now, first of all, the Devils have injuries.
Well, Hughes almost took off his
I've
hand.
always got something to say. You're laughing like, oh, what is he going to make up? I got something to say. Take it easy. You're laughing.
You saw Frank the Tank went out with the team, so you know that Hughes almost lost a hand.
And that was the injury. Yeah, exactly. No, but it's a bad one. The only thing that I worry about with the Devils, and I know that they're definitely organizationally moving in the right direction, and they've got the second most points. I think it's 29 behind whomever's got 30. I forget, maybe the Lightning, whatever it is. But their goal differential is nominal. It's like +2, +3. Is that sustainable to have that kind of a record? Are you going to win as many tight games as if you won this as you won like this far? So I think that of the three teams, when everybody's healthy, I think the Rangers are absolutely the worst of the three. I think the Devils are better. I think the Isles are better. So I forget how, as we often do, how you actually framed the question.
I said the Rangers will finish with the worst record.
Ball-faced truth.
Okay.
Yes, they will. Yep. Third.
All right. What do you got? Last one.
This is a big one, guys. Think about this.
You better get a little Knicks in here. I sense no Knicks.
No, that's actually where we're going.
Nice.
Very important here. BT, Ballface Live, Ballface Truth. The Knicks will win the NBA Cup this season.
That's a stupid cup. I can't stand this thing. Knicks are bothering me this year. I don't like the way they look, man. Oh, here we go. Mike Clown. Coming in from the top rope like to the Macho Man. It's early. They're also banged up. I mean, OG's out.
You're
Brunson
the one who said you don't like him.
I don't like what I see because I don't care what he did last night against the JV Nets. 37 points, 16 rebounds, whatever Karl Anthony Towns did. Yeah, I know the Knicks won for the 12th straight time or whatever it is against the pitiful Nets, and they won by 13. Awesome. I don't judge the Knicks against the Nets. I judge the Knicks against the good teams. And there's just something off with this team. There's something off. Now, to be fair, they have had injuries, not just the OG. McBride's been banged up as well. And I think that Karl Anthony Towns was a little hobbled coming in. We know that. I still think they make a trade. So will they win the cup? I'm going to say ballface lie because right now I don't think they're going to win the championship. Why would I think that they would win the little precursor to the championship? I'm not giving up.
Well, they're going up against the Hornets and the Bucks. Those are the two teams they have left.
Yeah, but when they have to play somebody like they'll beat. I know they'll beat both of those teams. Bucks are even worse.
And then from there they go if they elevate to a potential playoff spot or whatever it is.
They'll smash the Hornets. They'll probably just get by the Bucks. And then they'll start playing good teams, and I think the Knicks are going to have some problems until they either make a trade or change some stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to go bald-face DGAF. I could not give a crap less.
It's not an option.
I just made it up. Although I'm glad we brought up the Knicks, and thank you for doing that, Hoff. I'm not going to go to the level that you're at right now, BT, but this is not even a knock on Mike Brown, although I'd feel better about them if Tom Thibodeau were the head coach. I just feel more buttoned up, more structure with Tom Thibodeau. I don't like the way the Knicks are built with Karl Anthony Towns. This is no surprise. We all knew this a year ago.
You and I have said this for a while.
And we're not alone in that regard. I was all in for the trade. I think it was the right move. But after watching him play with Jalen Brunson and the way that they played a year ago, and the same thing, even worse now, I mean, I think that they have some issues. I don't think Bridges respects Karl Anthony Towns. He's just one who is seemingly frustrated with the continuous miscues on defense from Karl Anthony. He's just not a good defensive player.
He's a horrible defender.
And he's inconsistent offensively. He's inconsistent offensively, and yeah, he could score in the regular season with the best of them. But push comes to shove in the postseason, I don't think this team's got what it takes to get over the hump. Not even close. I think the Pistons would smack the crap out of them right now. That's the Pistons.
Did you see Detroit's record?
Yeah, 15-2.
Yeah.
And they played tough last year. Cunningham, we talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we love Brunson, but my God, Cunningham.
He's a special player. And by the way, Rick's first team here with St. John's, Dennis Jenkins, who he had at Iona, has actually carved out he didn't even get drafted by the Pistons. He signed. It's a good story if you follow, the local stuff with him, whether Iona or St. John's. He got I think it was a 2-way deal, and he went there, a little G League, got a couple of reps, then he had like 130-something point game. He's in the Pistons rotations. I'm a great kid too. I'm really happy for him. Now, here's the thing. All right. A lot of people question Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know that anybody's been quite as vocal as you and I have been. Like there is nothing to interpret about.
I mean, Gio killed him. A lot of us have killed him.
Yeah, Gio did. That's true. Gio did absolutely. He absolutely ran him. Maybe Greg's got the trophy there. He ran him over with a truck. So maybe we're second there. But I don't want to it's not about taking shots. I do want to substantiate one thing, because I think people hear me say this and hear us talk about this. They're like, oh, you're sleeping on Towns. And I do think that response, with all due respect, lacks some depth, because you're just pointing to the numbers, 30 points, 12 rebounds, All-NBA, All-Star. I don't care about that stuff. Watch the games, all right? And what I care about and what I base my opinion on with the Knicks, and I said even before I saw the way they would look this year, I did not think that they would win the championship. I did say that before the season. To win a championship, it is 2 months of continuous, high-level, efficient basketball. The playoffs start April, right around tax day, and it ends right around middle of June. You're talking 2 months. I'm not saying you won't get 2 games or even a month or 2 weeks from Karl Anthony Towns being that reliable, efficient, no stupid fouls, no lazy fouls, no 3 for 13 nights where he disappears. You will not get 2 months of that. You will not. So they either trade him and they really take a big boy swing to win a championship, or they will be championshipless again.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get, obviously the next conversation is going to continue here throughout the course of this regular season, but it has been, to me, just a start, and I certainly won't get worked up to your point about beating the Nets. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Get some calls in here before we break and reset. Frank is in Syosset. What's up, Frank?
Hey, Frank.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Yeah, just a quick question. About Hal complaining about the $319 million. He's been complaining about that since March or April of last year, too. But what if he didn't have Volpe and Schlittler and Dominguez and Wells and Rice? How much would what would the payroll look like then? He went very far with first and second year guys and Volpe in his third year. And now he complains about underperforming, and it would have been better if they had health and they lost Garrett. I don't believe him. I really don't, guys.
Well, I'm a little, I get that last part, but I'm a little bit confused about the young players. Like, so you think because he's got so many young players who aren't making a lot of money that he should do more? I'm just unclear as what your point is there, Frank.
Yeah, I do, BT. Yeah. He went very far with first and second year guys. What is he paying Volpe? $800,000?
I think it's about 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peanuts.
He's getting his money's worth, too.
So what does he got to complain about?
I got you. Thanks for the call there, Frank. I mean, I remember having this conversation. Boy, you really cracked himself up there, huh? I remember saying this before last season. Like, I think it was really important, when you look at this going into last season. And I don't really factor much of Ben Rice, all right? Although he's going to factor in moving forward. But, like, Wells was making little money. Volpe was making a little money. I really thought Dominguez was going to play more, making little money. Like, those were Luis Heel. Like, there were pieces that were, I thought, to be very interesting and really good. And real good foundational pieces that they haven't had in a while that would make very little money and enable the Yankees to do other big. That's why I really thought Soto could come back. And I think that's why they went as far as they did before he tapped out and said, I'm going to the Mets. So if these guys are good, that's fine. If they're a problem, you eventually have to replace them and give real money to other veterans. So they're still in a very interesting place where they've got 4, 5, 6, 7 players, both as hitters and pitchers, making fairly low salaries. But you might move on from Volpe in a year and Dominguez or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a combination. So we got into the argument yesterday a little bit where the Mets, I just don't expect them to go out there and spend everywhere. You're going to have to rely on some young players. So I'd be fine in the outfield if they go get one legit veteran bat, whoever that may be, via trade, via free agency, and then have one of the young guys come up. Now, you need to have the young guy produce. And the Yankees have relied on a bunch of young guys. We talked about that going into the year last year. As a matter of fact, I remember having the conversation with you saying it will make or break their season what these young guys do. Dominguez, Volpe, Wells, and maybe Rice wasn't on the radar at that point. I forget exactly.
Heel was in there before we got hurt.
Yeah, Schlittler certainly wasn't on the radar at that point. Mm-hmm. But almost to a man, they all disappointed. Wells, maybe less than Volpe and Dominguez, but I think they all fell far short of the expectations. Imagine the results had those guys done what they were supposed to do. I'm not opposed to relying on some of the younger guys, but there's got to be a balance. And if those guys aren't going to produce, well, then you better get somebody in there who will. It can't just be, well, we're going to run him in the ground for 3 years like it's been with Anthony Volpe, who's never come close to reaching his full potential or the expectations. Dominguez, it's been year one, and I wouldn't give up total hope on him, but there are already limitations in year one.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could double down on that wholeheartedly and trust. You could go across town and talk about it with the Mets. Alvarez, I thought Alvarez was going to be a stud. Well, how many years are we going to wait before he becomes a stud to a point where I would start already to get ahead of it by going to get Real Muto? And now at least you have some insurance to if Alvarez doesn't do what you expect him to do. Like at some point, the expectations have to change based on what they're giving you. It doesn't mean you can't ever rely on young guys. It is part of building a team, especially a team with a high payroll. Mm-hmm. Can't pay everybody $300 million. So you're going to have to rely on those guys. But if they're not producing, you better have insurance for somebody who can.
And I know that Betts had a very strange year last year, but it's easier to rely on a couple of young kids when you've got 3 Hall of Famers like Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts and a little bit easier, because you look at the Yankees, big 3 or the big 4, obviously Judge, but now you get to certain situations where, well, all right, well, Stanton, when he's healthy, massive when, massive if. There's just not enough constants there. And the same with the Mets. You're like, well, Soto's a constant, Pete's a power constant, Nimmo's now gone, so that's no longer a constant, and Lindor's a little streaky, even though he's really good. So that's kind of the rub. Yeah, you can run young players out there, but there comes a point where there's got to be a bit of a reevaluation and at some point a pivot from kids who don't justify getting that kind of run early in their career.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Take a break, come back, reset, down with the king topic of the day. More of your calls as well, doing NFL and obviously the baseball with Hal Steinbrenner, 888-808-1019.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Embrace the spirit of the season in comfort and style. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is here. Your moment to make dreams come true at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. With over 500 vehicles to choose from, including the versatile GLC and GLE SUVs, there's the perfect holiday gift for the one you love. Enjoy legendary Ray Cattina customer service and see why Mercedes-Benz of Edison was named the 2024 Mercedes-Benz Dealership of the Year by Cars.com. Celebrate the season in true luxury at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
You can always count on Thanksgiving football with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
What a catch! Touchdown!
And this year's main course is in Big D when the Cowboys host the Chiefs. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Head to SNY for all the latest offseason news and rumors.
A very busy and a very important offseason for the Mets.
With insider opinion.
What's your take on the deal?
And exclusive access.
Get it going here with Carlos Mendoza.
On Mets Hot Stove, Wednesdays at 6:30, only on SNY.
Sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon. At 12 o'clock, I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com, and by Ray Catino Lexus of Freehold and Ray Catino Lexus of Monmouth. Make your holidays memorable in a Lexus from Ray Catino. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here. Drive home luxury in a GX or TX with class-leading storage. Celebrate the season in style at Ray Catino Lexus of Freehold and Ray Catino Lexus of Monmouth. Eli Manning is one of 3 quarterbacks and 26 total players to advance to the semifinal round of Hall of Fame voting. The next cut down brings us to the 15 men who we voted on for real for enshrinement in the new year. Eli's competition under center, Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers, both in the first year of eligibility. And there is more afternoon college basketball action today. Rutgers meeting Notre Dame in Vegas. Coverage at 12:45 on our AM side. St. John's with a 4:30 tip in Sin City, this time against Baylor. Fan weather is sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Is pain stopping you from doing what you love? Physical therapists at Motion create a personalized plan that can get you moving safely and confidently again. No referral needed. Most insurance is accepted. Find a location near you and schedule an appointment today at motionptg.com. It's 53 degrees and overcast in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogut.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's a couple of things that we've been talking about. Number one, just how Steinbrenner, the fact that he would prioritize the business, and that is clear. I don't think he does it intentionally. It is clear when you listen to him speak repeatedly, year after year, that the business aspect of owning the Yankees plays a large part in his philosophy and his thinking. Now, he is right in that you shouldn't have to spend $300 million to have a good team, but if that's the case, then you better hire the people who can put together a good team for $300 million or less. Either that or spend more, because whatever the Yankees have been doing while their regular season success has been good, it's not enough to get to where the Yankees need to be, which has been, in years past, in the prior decades, in the 90s and 2000s, the Yankees won the World Series, it seemed almost every year. And now you look at it, BT, since 2009, the Yankees have had 1 World Series appearance in which they lost, and that was a year ago. It's just not good enough.
No, it's not. I mean, losing on a broken bat base hit up the middle to the Diamondbacks with Mariano on the mound, that's a little random. You're losing every year. And really looking fairly inferior to the team that you lose to is not random. That's more of a systemic thing, which I think has plagued the Yankees for a while. And that's why, and again, I got to put quotes around this because obviously the Yankees spent a ton of money, but the Yankees' failures, that's what I'm putting quotes around, or the Yankees' shortcomings, it's not about, well, they need to spend $370 instead of $309 or whatever the numbers are, fudge them however you want. I think that the core issue, and I have said this for quite some time, is that I don't really trust or believe in the Yankees scouting, and I really don't believe they have elite player development. I think that by the time too many of these players get to the tarmac to jump on the major league plane, if you will, and take off, they are not conditioned and fundamentally buttoned up enough to be what they are supposed to be. And there's just, I'm not going to run through all the names, I'm not going to run any, but the evidence is fairly overwhelming. A Yankee position player comes up, a little sloppy on the bases, a little deficient in whatever position it might be, or positionless. Well, he's got a big stick, but we don't know what position he's going to play. Well, why not? I mean, did you develop him to play a position? So we heard, and I will use Dominguez as an example. To me, this is a perfect example of why the Yankees confused me. So we heard for years, hey, he's the number 1 prospect. He's a stud center fielder. He runs like the wind, and he hits bombs from both sides of the plate like Mickey Mantle. Okay, well, we'll see if you can hit when you get and you face real pitching. But to not even be given a chance to be a major league center fielder when that's what he was touted as by everybody. I thought he was playing center field in the Yankees minor league system. I'm sorry that I'm the idiot. All I heard was Dominguez, center field. I'm getting excited. We got maybe the next Bernie, maybe the next Mickey, maybe somebody like that. They never even gave him a chance. Why? Because he's not a good center fielder. Whose fault is that? well, maybe he was overhyped. Maybe we bought it, or maybe they didn't prepare him to be a good center fielder.
And if it were me seeing all that, and we've talked about it for years, how the Yankees have lacked a drafting/developing part of their game. If you're not going to be able to do that at the high level, then you better go out there and spend at the highest of levels, and they don't do that anymore. So nobody's banging the desk just saying, go spend recklessly and get this guy and that guy and all these superstars. What we're saying is whatever you've been doing hasn't been good enough, and you're not acknowledging that it hasn't been good enough. Either you need to spend more to compensate for the fact that you haven't developed properly or haven't won at the level that you want to win at, or you need to change the people in charge of constructing this ball club because it hasn't been good enough. And I guess in their minds, they do think it's good enough. I don't know about the finances of it, but he seemed to be sensitive to it, saying, we're not making as much as everybody thinks or whatever it may be. I don't really care about that. No fans care about that. We care about the results. And the results should never be, from a Yankees perspective, it should never be accepted that other teams, whether it's the Dodgers, the Mets, the Blue Jays, can either pass them by on the field or off the field as far as spending. They should always be the premier team. There's no excuse for it. And they have got, the gap has been closed, and in some cases they've just been flat out passed by.
And there's certain things you just shouldn't talk about. Now John Heyman, and that's what you're alluding to. That's the finances. We don't care. You're right. Now, John Heyman brought it up, and it's not like Hal volunteered it on his own. He didn't, but he went a little deeper than I would have myself. You heard again about the $100 million payment due to the city every February 1st, and you had to cut that check during COVID as well. I get it. COVID was tough on everybody. Here's the bottom line, though. There are expectations. Like, there are days, all right, you know this, we laugh about it, but it's the reality of being a human being. You come in, either an argument with the wife, the kid is up late sick. I have two, so one of mine, maybe your daughter. Hey, mortgage is due, car payments are due, things are happening. You got to get in line with Santa, money spent here, money spent there. Our listeners don't care what kind of mood we're in. Do the show.
Right.
Give us strong opinions. Be entertaining. Be as good as you are, or don't be as good as you are. But don't tell us your show sucked because you're tired or because you're mad at your wife. Just like I don't want, and I know the Yankees, I'm not going overboard. Yankees are the opposite of sucking, but I don't want to hear about the contextualization of why they're not all in. And I don't want to hear about payments to the city. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. So now I ask you this. If they fail to ignore, or if Hal, because this is what this is all about, Hal's presser yesterday, if Hal too often fails to acknowledge the shortcomings, which I think we all agree with, that's a fair statement. If you were Hal, what would you say to satisfy that?
It's something you always say. You don't care what they say, you care what they do. And I think actions do speak louder than words. So it's the combination of lack of action, meaning staying the course with Cashman and everybody for years, and him saying the same thing. So why would we think it's going to change to a point where we're almost just like, well, nothing's going to change here, which is why then the one thing we could maybe control is, hey, go get this player, go get that player. Because we've already done the Cashman needs to go thing, and it's just time for a new voice and change of direction within the Yankee organization of how they build a team. And that hasn't changed, nor are there any signs that is going to change anytime soon. So the only other way to make things better are, hey, go get Tucker, keep Bellinger, add on top of it, go trade for Skubal, whatever it is that they need to do. Do it with the guys in place, and the one thing would be to spend more money. But Hal's words and actions combined are showing that he doesn't think that there's a big problem. He believes what Cashman and everybody else is saying about, well, we win 90-plus games every year, and the postseason's a crapshoot. Blue Jays got hot at the right time. Dodgers, you know what? They happen to just get lucky and win two straight. That he actually believes that, because if he didn't believe that and he truly thought that there was a problem, he either A, doesn't care enough to fix it, or B, would fix it if he truly believed that the Yankees weren't good enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind an ultimatum one of these years. I really wouldn't. Now, maybe that's not healthy for business, but put some people on notice. Like, hey, it's time to win a championship, and I think you know who those people are. Think about this. You'll like this because you were here for this. Think about where we are. Back in the day, you'd hear the little waving of the paper. The music would come up, and we'd get a missive.
Right.
We'd get a missive from George. And I know whenever we get into the George stuff, it's like, well, it's so different. Why do it? But this doesn't really come up much, so it's a different angle. You get the missive. Mike would read it theatrically, slow. You'd know exactly what the owner of the Yankees thought. And when you heard that music, and when you heard Mike tell you, we've got a missive, you were like, whoa. No matter where you are in any borough or park, you're like, let's go. What's going on? Does anybody really get excited or curious when Hal speaks? Not at all.
Well, we know it's going to be the same thing.
Well, that's my point.
And you had that with Cohen, where when he speaks, there is an intrigue and an excitement. At least I feel that from him.
I do, but I definitely feel that. But is it because he's here for 5 years and we don't know his patterns yet?
I think because you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I think it's a little bit of that. Listen, put it this way. Let's say the Mets are, let's say in 12 or 13 years, Cohen still owes them, so that's almost 20-year ownership. Let's say they've got one championship. I think the pattern will kind of establish itself, unless maybe he's going to be more volatile. Maybe I shouldn't predict what he's going to be.
And volatile may not even be the right word. Just more, he holds the organization more accountable. I mean, that has been a fact. Now, the other fact is that they've also lost a lot more than the Yankees. The Yankees aren't winning 83 games, although when they did miss the postseason in 2023, okay, no problemo, no biggie, as Luggie would say. Just go out there again the next year. They went and got Soto, and that changed things. Then they lost Soto. The Yankees have not operated the way that the successful Yankees did in the 90s and 2000s. I mean, that's just a fact. And it doesn't seem to be the accountability that there once was. Whereas with the Mets, even though they're nowhere near the Yankees' level of sustained success, not even close, it's going to take years to do that, if ever, there is a level of accountability that is expected from Steve Cohen, even in a short time here. You just feel it. You know it. You've seen it.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing, just to finish the thought on Hal.
Yeah.
I mean, that fax would come in, and really the sports world in New York City would stop. And now we expect to hear about $100 million payments to the city on February 1st. Think about the difference.
Yeah.
Contrast that. That is not what we want to hear.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Brian Balding will join us at 12:40. We'll go around the NFL with Baldy. We'll give a little Turkey Day teaser as BT and Hoff are off tomorrow, so they got to give their Turkey Day teaser today. Perfect Parlay Pick segment recap. BT hit his, so we'll go over that a little bit later. So plenty of NFL, but your baseball calls right now as well. Brian is calling from Locust Valley. What's up, Brian?
Hey, guys. Listen, guys, I'm a huge fan of your show. I don't really call often, but I will tell you this. When I did hear Hal's press conference yesterday, I was enraged. No one wants to hear about your $100 million payment, especially when the taxpayers paid for, I think, 2/3 of your brand new stadium a bunch of years ago now. No one wants to hear it, Hal, okay? What I want to hear from you is saying we didn't do good enough. We're willing to do whatever it takes to be winners again. Don't cry to me like you're an electrician trying to pay your mortgage. It's not going to affect your country club status. I want to be fair to him. You were born into baseball, sports, royalty. Please don't tell the fans that I have to pay $100 million every February 1st. No one cares. No one wants to hear it. We are blue-collar fans. We're the ones that are in your seats cheering, watching TV, watching it on that stupid Amazon Prime on Friday night. No one wants to hear what you have to say regarding money and that you didn't make a profit. Did it affect your life one bit, Hal? Did it affect you maybe not buying another piece of property down in Palm Springs? Did it affect your vacation? No. It does for people like us who support your team every day. We're the ones that don't go on vacation because maybe we want to buy a 10-pack of Yankee game tickets for our kids. It doesn't affect you. I don't want to hear it again. You've turned me off to this team, and like you guys said, great. You don't have to spend that much money. But if you're not happy with how much money you're spending, get rid of your general manager. I mean, how many years are we going to go through the same conversation?
That's Brian, you nailed it, man.
Fire the guy.
You nailed it. I mean, You nailed the first part, too. Thanks for the call. You nailed the first part as well. Different problems for different people, clearly. But that's the issue. I mean, we can talk, and we have talked about this. That's why, I said earlier, if I was Hal, oh, God, my head spins. I feel like I've had this conversation for freaking years at this point. If I was Hal, I would really call in cash and say, Bri, I've known you since you were 20-something years old. Why is my money not going as far as it used to? You're in charge of it. What is the story? And if the answer is not satisfactory, I'd move on.
Well, maybe he gets a satisfactory answer.
Or maybe he's looking for a satisfactory answer.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Hey, look, we won 94 games. My point is, every sports team gets to a point where you have to say, hey, even though you're very good at what you've done, it's just time for a change. Whether it's a head coach, GM, even the best of them get fired just for change's sake. And I've said the same line. I'll continue to say it. Brian Cashman's one of the great GMs all time. Look at his record. Look at his resume. Nobody can dispute that. But the same thing that he told Joe Girardi after 2017, getting the Game 7 of the ALCS, hey, we're moving on just because we think it's time for the organization to move on, different voice. That's what should be told to Cashman. The difference is, I think, Hal is okay with what's going on. Maybe he's afraid to take that leap and that risk of saying, hey, no more Cashman, which could mean some 70-something win years. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a possibility. You move on from Cashman, you risk the sustained success that the Yankees have had, and you could have some lean seasons before building it back up, although that shouldn't be the case with where the Yankees are at, and what the resources that they have. Anyway, maybe he's afraid of that. And just the known is more secure than the unknown of, wow, who the hell are we going to hire? I'm sure that's a big part of it. Plus, they do win generally 90 games every year and are in the postseason. So I could understand one side of it. And I think you also have a person that just accepts not winning it all more than his father or more than the fan base does.
He's comfortable with Cashman. He trusts him. I think that's part of it. Yeah, and the last caller brought this up, too, and I didn't know the exact number, and he threw it out there. I wanted to see if he was right. He pretty much is. So approximately 52% of the cost of the new stadium was paid by public funding and tax breaks. So that was about $1.2 billion of the $2.3 billion construction cost was paid by other people other than the Yankees. And, so that's...
Oh, George is still running things in.
Jeez. I know, but that's all under the Steinbrenner name. That's all under the Yankee, umbrella, if you will. I didn't realize it was that much. Well, 52%. Interesting.
Dino is in Bayside. What's up, Dino?
Hey, Dino.
Hey, guys. Happy holidays. How you doing?
Good. What's up, Dino?
Good. Just quick. First of all, listen, we don't need no more lefty bats. Bellinger was good for a year for the money. Move on. We need a right-handed bat, like a Jack Clark of the Cardinals back in the day, Alonso at first base. We need a right-handed bat. We're all lefties. We're not going to win like that.
Well, who do you want?
He wants Alonso.
Oh, you want Pete?
Get him. We need a right-handed. Who's the right-handed bat out there?
How about Tatis? They might trade him. Mets might try to get him. Go get Tatis.
We need a leadoff hitter though. We haven't had a leadoff hitter.
Well, Pete's going to bat first.
Like this.
Pete's
you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah, but hold on, Tino. You just said get more righty-oriented, which, by the way, I think that you're right. Everybody's a lefty. Goldschmidt was a righty. He's gone. Everybody literally is pretty much a lefty.
Adding Kwan, and thank you for the call, adding Kwan and signing Pete would not be bad.
No, I just don't want Pete on the Yankees. I get it. Right-handed thumper again. The reasons I've said a million, I don't want him on the Yankees. I love Kwan. I love that idea. I'm not giving Pete 5, 6, 5. Not interested. Let the Red Sox, let the Mets do it. I'm not interested. But I do think that I'm
surprised you're off Tucker because you wanted him badly a year ago.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. I'm not... Okay, I'm happy you brought that up. So I'm not off Tucker, but I've learned to shape my energies around what I anticipate teams will do.
Why? There's no fun in that.
No, well, you're right. The hell with that. Let me go back to my always. No, I love Tucker. Now, I also would have liked to have seen Tucker in a contract year go absolutely bonkers, and he did not go he's good.
He got hurt, though.
I understand that.
I don't want to defend your guy.
No. Listen, we had a really good, passionate debate last year about Soto with Tucker, and when I kept going on the better all-around ball player.
Yeah.
Now, the difference is, of course, Soto stole 39 bases, whatever it was this year. Tucker was banged up. I still believe, night to night, that Kyle Tucker's the better all-around baseball player, not a better hitter. But I'm sorry, when you have a contract year, he didn't play 37 games. He played 140. Hit 266. His OPS was 840. And, now when we had the conversation last year, he was coming off a year where his OPS was 993. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. And the year before that, he led baseball in RBIs. And I still felt like he was climbing a bit as a player. I think he's plateaued a bit. Not that his plateau is alarming. He's still a very, very high-level player. But $400 million? See, the difference with Soto, number one, Soto's just a better hitter. We know that. But for the Mets to pay Soto that, to me, it's more justifiable because Soto's mere arrival theoretically and now proven would put 15,000 more people in the stands every night.
They needed a star.
They needed the perception.
Tucker's not that.
Exactly. They needed the perception. They needed the extra bodies. That's why Cohen called out the fans before. He said, hey, show up. And Met fans did. Set an attendance record. Phenomenal. So paying him that much money is justified because you got a lot of it back. You can monetize Soto differently than you can monetize Tucker. So you're not going to make money off Tucker. You might be a little bit better. I agree. But I've cooled a little. I still really like him. But is he a superstar? The answer is no. I don't think he's a superstar.
No, but he's a good, well-rounded ball player who the Yankees wanted badly a year ago. I mean, I guess not badly enough to give up Luis Gil for him. But I would not be shocked if they shown some interest in him because he's a well-rounded ball player, something that we talked about that the Yankees need more of. The problem is you had that with Bellinger last year, so it shouldn't be in place of Bellinger because that would only make them incrementally better.
Yeah.
If it's in addition to Bellinger, then it makes them a lot better.
And he can't play first base, and he can't play center field.
Bellinger in that case would play first base, and you have Kyle Tucker in a corner spot.
I think that's the other thing, too.
I'd still rather have Quan because I want to lead off him.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Before watching Bellinger play every day, listen, I knew he was a smooth fielder. I knew that. But he's even better than I thought. And seeing him left field, Judge gets hurt, go play right, diving plays, throws, go play first base. Again, I knew he was a plus defender, better than I thought. And so that's elevated Bellinger for me, but in a weird way, it's also downgraded Tucker a tick because, again, he's just, now, of course he could play right, but he's not playing center and he's not playing first under any circumstance.
I want to get into the Tatis combo at some point. Maybe we'll do that when we come back. We did it a little bit the other day, but it's starting to pick up a little more steam now, or at least in the rumor mill, with the Padres having to sell and shed some of that salary. Would the Mets or Yankees, or should the Mets or Yankees be in on Tatis? We'll get to that. Baldy coming up at 12:40 as well.
All right, Sal, this Thanksgiving, FanDuel's introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It is called Pass the Leg. Here's how it works. Start a group, build your picks, and then pass it around to your buddies, kind of like you're passing around the stuffing or the tray of turkey, obviously, and then they could add theirs. So, by the way, stuffing with sausage, anybody do that? A little bit old school. It's the best. Anyway, lock in your group parlays with your own funds. Football's better when it's played, and you got a little juice on the games, as we know. So make it even better. Everybody gets a 50% profit boost to use on their build. Maybe you start a parlay off with a Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown and then pass it off to one of your friends and they can do whatever they want to do. Grab your crew, start your build, and get in on the action this Thanksgiving with Pass the Leg. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/BT to get going here. FanDuel, play your game. We love the app around here. It is safe and it's secure. And when you win, the best part is, guys, get paid right away. Money is right in the account. As soon as the game goes final, you win. Bang, it's there for you. FanDuel's the official sportsbook of WFAN, 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions to apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Who will stay? Who will go? Big questions loom for the Yankees and Mets this offseason. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Boomer here. If you care about cooking your meat to perfection as much as I do, the IQ Sense Smart Meat Thermometer from Chef IQ wirelessly monitors your food's internal temperature in real time and pairs with the Chef IQ app to tell you when it's time to flip, rest, and serve. So there's no guesswork, there's no overcooking, just perfect USDA safe temps every single time. It even connects to the new Chef IQ mini oven for hands-off precision cooking. So why not grab yours today at chefiq.com, code word BOOMER to save 30% at checkout.
This is Commissioner Idanis Rodriguez from the New York City Department of Transportation. Every time you're driving or riding, you make choices. They may feel small, like speeding or trying to beat the light. But the choices you make can have life-changing consequences for yourself and others. And in that moment, you'll wish you could take it back. One choice can change everything. You can't rewind a crash.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL. Kick off with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by the Home Depot. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I check my list once,
twice. All done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Rogue Platinum, 2025 Murano, or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 12/1/25.
You know by now that you can count on Sundays all season long. And this Thanksgiving, you can count on seconds with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. This year's main course features Dak Prescott and the Cowboys hosting Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Running a small business is a daily balancing act. One late shipment, one price hike, one employee issue, and your whole month, maybe the entire year, could be in trouble. That's where LendSeek comes in.
I needed $100,000 fast to keep up with inventory demands. LendSeek had me funded the same day I applied. Between their AI platform finding the fastest deal and a dedicated funding specialist guiding the process, it couldn't have been easier.
Our AI-driven platform matches your business with the right program from over 100 funders, up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours. Don't wait until it's too late. If you've been in business at least 2 years with more than $500,000 in annual revenue, qualifying is simple. No collateral, no out-of-pocket costs, no hassle. From lines of credit, term loans to revenue-based financing, LendSeek is open for business. Apply in minutes at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
The Powerball jackpot is now $681 million. So don't miss out, Jersey. That's 681 million reasons why you should stop by your New Jersey lottery retailer and get your ticket today.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
This winter, move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5, the smart choice for those who expect more. With standard I-Active all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 delivers confidence and control in every condition. Inside, you'll find a redefined high-quality interior designed for comfort and connection, because there's more to a Mazda. Celebrate the season during the More to Move You winter sales event. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month and make every drive feel like a gift. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT, it's out back on the Fan this Thanksgiving week. We will have a Turkey Day teaser, which is part of the Perfect Parlay Pick segment. We'll do that later on. BT and Hoff will give their teasers for Thanksgiving. I'll give mine tomorrow. I'll be here. Those guys are going to be off tomorrow, getting ready for the holiday here. So to recap what went on in the Perfect Parlay Pick segment, Week 12, BT, you finally hit. You hit a 3-teamer. And just for those of you who are not familiar with it, we give our picks each week. It could be a 2-team, 3-team, or 4-team parlay. 2-team worth 25 points, a 3-teamer worth 50, a 4-teamer worth 100. So BT hit his 3-teamer. You actually went, there was a lot of drama last night here with the BT and Sal show. You went head-to-head with Hoff, who had the Panthers last night plus the 7. Had they hit, he would have won his 4-teamer and buried us. But you had the Niners, so you hit your 3-teamer for 50 points. Hoff is in the lead with 175 on the year after cashing out 1 4-teamer. You now, BT, have leapfrogged me, and you are in second place with 115, 60 off the pace. I am in third with 105, just now 10 behind you. So things are now bunched up with the Perfect Parlay Pick segment.
Finally got off the schneid a little bit. I was getting a little worried here, but it just proves once again that I'm a great teammate. I saved me and I saved you.
Yeah, I needed you to win because
if he won, we're dead.
If Hoff won again and hit another 4-teamer and had the 100 points,
it's over.
I don't think we were coming back from that one, even I would admit. Although the Turkey Day teaser, as we do as a bonus every year ahead of Thanksgiving, that's worth 35 points. So this could be another. If you and I hit this, then we're really now on the heels of Hoff.
And haven't we had a couple of times where I think we've all hit it, all three, right? I think the first year we all hit it, didn't we?
No. Hoff hit first year. We both lost.
Yeah.
And then last year, all three of us hit it, if I'm not mistaken.
Hoff 2 for 2.
3 teams.
I'm going to go 3 for 3, bro.
That turkey.
Three teams, 10 points. You could swing it either way. So, BT, you were 3-0. You're 15-19 on the year. Hoff was 3-1, 22-24 on the year. I was 1-2, 20-15 on the year. So that's the perfect parlay picks recap for Week 12. We will not give our picks on the air because we got to, we can't give it on Wednesday.
Yeah, I got to see how the spread's going to move, injuries, et cetera.
Yeah, we'll do the teasers and then we can just send our picks on social or something like that. So I mentioned, and we'll have Brian Baldinger coming up in about 10 minutes. I mentioned Tatis before. We went over this a little bit the other day. Dude, he is a phenomenal defensive player. Okay, so an absolute stud in the outfield. Offensively, the numbers are not what they once were when he had 42 homers, 97 ribbies, hit 282. But 25 homers last year, 27 doubles, 71 ribbies. What do you have? He had 268 in 155 games and plays an elite level outfield. Gold Glove a couple of times over. So we know what type of player he is. 2-time Platinum Glove as well. So he's an elite defensive outfielder. He's 26 years of age. So I think there's a lot of appeal there, especially maybe for the Mets who have more of a need. You can move Soto to left, put Tatis in right. Problem is that's a major commitment. Even at 26 years of age, he's on the hook for 20 million, 25, 36, 36, all the way through 2034. That is a financial commitment that I'm not sure anybody would be willing to take at that particular point.
I'm going to frame it, I think, fairly uniquely. I think you'll like this. All right, so Simeon's got, 3 years to go, and we know his money around 70-ish, right? Whatever it is. Whatever Simeon's contract is, if he was hitting the market today, would he be offered the terms of...
No,
exactly.
they overpaid for that.
I agree. If Brandon Nimmo was a free agent today... Yep. Would anybody offer him what remains? The answer is no.
He'd get 20 a year. He wouldn't get 5 years.
That's my point. Yeah. If Tatis was a free agent today, now he will not be a free agent until 2035. Would he get what would equate to a $292 million remaining contract?
Is that what it is? You did it?
I did it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I believe he would. Because think about this. 9 years, $292 for Tatis. We're talking 11 years
That's
for
what's left
Tucker.
on it? You did that?
I did all the math.
9 years, $292 is what's left.
9 years, $292 just say $300 million.
Yeah,
9 years, $300 million remain. Everybody's saying Tucker's getting 4 change at 10, 11 years. Who would you rather have?
When you put it that way,
you do it.
Yeah, because he's 26. We talked about Soto being an outlier, hitting free agency at his age, which is why he broke the bank at 765. If he were 30, he's not getting that money. He got that money and length because of how old he is. If you look at Tatis, who's 26, who is an elite level defensive player, I mean, maybe that is something they'd be looking at. It's not that bad. And now it is another commitment to a $300 million contract. And my biggest concern there is the chemistry in the clubhouse with Tatis, Soto, Lindor. I'm not sure the dynamics of that because I know that there were issues in San Diego's clubhouse. Am I looking to bring that in here?
Is that from the WBC? Is that where a lot of it stems from?
Honestly, dude, I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I have no idea. But there were reported issues in San Diego.
I remember Machado was in the middle of that as well. Now, listen, if you're going to...
Plus, I'm sorry, BT, plus we should mention PED is a big part of...
And he's also had some injuries.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been nicked up. He's been a little artificially enhanced over the way.
Yeah.
So I think the way around any potential issue in the clubhouse is I think you just broach it this way. Now, forget about the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees would go out. By the way, I'm getting very tired of saying forget about the Yankees.
Yeah.
I don't think the Yankees would go out and do this.
It's unbelievable.
It's almost like I'm a robot saying the same thing. There needs to be a reprogramming, but I just don't think that. I don't think they'll do it. So I think the Mets would be more interested. The way you find out, you know, now I'm not saying you just go and you ask your star player what you think about everything, but if there was that friction in San Diego, which there was, you go to Soto, hey Juan, we good? We have a chance to get Tatis. You okay with this? You don't bring in somebody for 9 years at $300 million when the other guy, even though Soto could opt out, I think 4 years, whatever it is, you just don't do that. You want to have some synergy. So that I would not worry about that. The other aspects, all right, how will the player age? That's obviously very important. Now, you gave out, and everybody knows, great defender, he's got a rocket for an arm, all that stuff. Even as he begins to decline, like his arm strength right now is in the 99 percentile. Let's say in 5 years it's 89. It's still red if you're into Saban. Same thing with his range. Same thing with his arm value. Even his sprint speed for guys who's got pop is basically 85 percentile. So it's not going to just creep into the 30s, 40s, or 50s in 3 or 4 years. So there's a way I look at when you talk about almost a decade worth of a commitment. What kind of bounce does that, like, is he bouncy? And that's one of the things that worries me about Pete. I know Pete's not getting 10 years. That's the problem with Stanton. It's not bouncy. Judge has maintained his bounce for the most part. Hopefully that stays the case. And I don't see that being a deterrent. I think as he loses naturally through the attrition of the sport, some of that burst and some of that bounce, I still think he'll be elite at what he's already among the best at the game in right now.
All right, so let's look at it from a Mets perspective for a second. Specifically Mets, leave the Yankees out of this. Would the Mets be better off with Bellinger? You put Bellinger in either center or left, can play a little first.
All right.
Keep Soto in right.
Belly, go ahead.
And the contract probably like 170, something like that.
You going 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, all right. 170, 180, maybe less, maybe a little bit more.
Bellinger, Mets, yeah.
Kyle Tucker. You have to put Tucker in right, move Soto to left.
Oh, okay. Tucker, here we go. Going big boy spending.
But you're talking,
gotcha.
What's he going to get? Near 400?
Yeah, everybody says 4.
I don't know, maybe not.
I don't like that number for him.
But either way, over 3, you would assume.
Easy.
Or Tatis. Mm-hmm. Put him in right, move Soto to left, and the commitment that you just had at age 26.
Okay.
What do you think is
I'm looking, that's good. I love this stuff.
Either the best investment
put Soto's name
or
over.
Both, best for the team, best investment? Because I'm feeling like after doing this in my own head here, I think it's Tatis. I think that's an investment I'd rather make. Bellinger fits the ball club better just because he's versatile, and it's a safer decision. Lesser financial commitment, plays more positions, proven in New York, less risk, so it fits. But Tatis is 26. Mm-hmm. And yes, you're committing $300 million, but to your point, it's not a bad value when you factor in his age.
Yeah, that's why I presented it that way. Yeah, sure.
He's an elite beyond elite. When you talk about two-time platinum gold glove winner, you put him in right, you move Soto to the left, you just significantly upgraded your outfield. Mets talk about right-handed bat. Now you get a right-handed bat to balance that out. In that scenario, it'd almost be okay if they let Pete walk. Now, again, you still got to have to replace him at first base then. Mm-hmm. But I think the upside with Tatis, to me, is more appealing than either Tucker or Bellinger.
Okay, so, and you brought up Pete. Pete's going to always factor in some sort of these, in all this stuff. So let me get your answer. So under the equation, Bellinger, Tucker, 2 Mets, or Tatis, 2 Mets, Soto to left, Tatis to right. Pete is definitely back or no? Under this equation.
Pete would have to be back with Bellinger. I don't think it's realistic to have Pete back with either Tucker or Tatis. I could be wrong.
So you don't think there's any... Okay, so you're not saying Bellinger, Tucker, and Pete. You're saying Bellinger, Tucker, no Pete.
No. Bellinger or Tucker or Tatis. 1-1-1. One big outfield. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Tatis.
One or the other. Because everybody's focused on Bellinger and Tucker.
Yeah.
But I think Tatis might be the better option.
He's a better player.
Even with the $300 million.
I thought you were... that's why I was... Okay, so I thought you were going Bellinger and Tucker or Tatis. Now, what about this? Bellinger... Now, we're getting
Bellinger
and
Pete.
What about... Maybe unrealistic. Bellinger and Tucker or Tatis and Pete?
I don't think it's going to be Bellinger and Tucker.
I don't think so either, but I'm just curious how you would answer that.
Why not just go Bellinger or Pete? Bellinger and Pete, which I think is realistic. A Bellinger and Pete combo, or Tatis, no Pete. That's the...
Bellinger and Pete.
Because remember, Bellinger and Pete...
I think I'd take Tatis by himself.
Because Bellinger and Pete likely will add up to your $300 million.
Mm-hmm.
and you get two players, and you get one who's extremely versatile. You could have PTH, Bellinger play first, Bellinger in center, Bellinger in left, Bellinger in right, could spell soda, whatever you want to do. Or you take that $300 million, let's just say, hypothetically, we don't know, and you say, I'm going all in on the 26-year-old superstar fielder, very good, plus offensive player in Tatis.
I think I'd do that. Let me ask you a question. If money wasn't necessarily an issue, like it's not an issue to Cohen, would you buy the house that you like? Or would you buy the house with, I know you have a pool, but an even bigger pool and even more property and upgraded doors and the best marble? I mean, get the best.
I know, but I think that you could make an argument that Bellinger and Tatis could make them better. I think Tatis gives them a potential to blow the top off of it, and then you could fill in first base with a serviceable, solid pro. You know, maybe somebody that could hit you 15, 20 home runs and try to piecemeal it together. Better defensive player. Now you're upgrading in right field significantly. Soto in left is not going to be that much of a drop-off from Nimmo. Probably he'll be an upgrade, if anything, in left. He moves around better out there. You have one of the young kids play. So it's just something to think about. But at first when we had this conversation, I didn't think it was realistic to take on that type of money. But as you lay it out, I don't think it's unrealistic.
I would also add this too. Like if I look at Bellinger as a Met, Tucker as a Met, and Tatis as a Met, obviously you're not going to have all three. You probably wouldn't even have two of the three. But do I see Bellinger being in the MVP race? No. Do I see Tucker? Yeah. But I absolutely see Tatis.
Yeah, I don't know about
absolutely.
I don't know about MVP, but I mean, either way, the upside. He's only 26 years old. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan. Take a quick break. Come back with Brian Boldinger on the other side.
Boldy's always money. Look forward to it. Hey, this winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Something that Sal and I finally got our hands on for about a month or so each. And man, oh man, it was just awesome driving in. I mean, all the bells and the whistles, like a spaceship. The moonroof was literally from the windshield to the back of the car. I mean, it had some serious zip. I learned how to do the battery thing, which worried me a little bit. Once I figured that out, simple. The optic was great. You guys could arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of a Lyric. Of course, I had the Escalade IQ. And Sal, I didn't want to give it back. I was thinking of scams to keep it another month. I mean, they're lucky they got the keys back, dude.
No, I'm not surprised. You can discover the comfort of the spacious 3-row Vistic as well. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. We love the cars, so comfortable, luxurious ride, great safety features as well. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Everyone immediately pivots to the idea that they're going to go sign Bellinger and Tucker, or one of the two. They're clearly going to add an outfielder, that's without question. But to me, we were talking about Bellinger before this move.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Baker Mayfield was an early season MVP candidate, but injuries to him and pretty much everyone on the Bucs offense have slowed Tampa Bay to a crawl. His MRI showed only a low-grade AC sprain, but his status for Sunday is still shaky after that blowout loss to the Rams. With the Bucs dropping 3 straight and sitting at 6-5, the NFC South is suddenly wide open again. I'm Maggie Gray.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
I'm Colonel Callahan of the New Jersey State Police. If you're caught driving impaired, you'll face hefty fines, a suspended license, and maybe even jail time. Worse yet, you might cause a crash that could devastate someone's life. Be responsible. Don't drive impaired. We are all counting on you.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 12/1/25.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Looking for the best value on new tires? Get to Town Fair Tire. We honor every valid manufacturer's and competitor rebates and give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. The new center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too, for my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile.
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible board-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge credits and imbalance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Embrace the spirit of the season in comfort and style. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is here. Your moment to make dreams come true at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. With over 500 vehicles to choose from, including the versatile GLC and GLE SUVs, there's the perfect holiday gift for the one you love. Enjoy legendary Ray Katina customer service and see why Mercedes-Benz of Edison was named the 2024 Mercedes-Benz Dealership of the Year by Cars.com. Celebrate the season in true luxury at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Sal back on the Fan, and we're joined by Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Baldy, I want to start with something that's been bothering me. Giant fans have been calling up all week, talking about how they're close and this and that, and their talent is better than the record. What do you see when you watch the New York Football Giants, first team eliminated of all the teams for the second straight year, 2-10? You think their talent is better, a lot better than what the record is?
No, it is what it says. I mean, you give up, 3 40-plus yard runs to Jahmyr Gibbs. How good are you? I don't care if you're Brian Burns or Abdul Carter or Dexter Lawrence. I mean, we all know where all those guys were drafted, but, I mean, you give up runs like that and one in overtime where nobody even touches Jahmyr Gibbs to go for a touchdown. I don't think you're very good.
Well, Baldy, I'm from the school. I would disagree a little bit here. I hear you. I mean, you are what you are. You got 2 wins. I get it. But, there's been a lot of bad Jets and Giants teams that we've watched, and they just languish through a half with 1 first down, and they score 3 points and can't stop anybody. I guess the greater point is if you can compete for 3+ quarters, score, make some plays, you got to have a little talent. Like, they're not the Titans.
Yeah. No, they're not the Titans. That was the best offensive performance I saw them all year. I mean, that was really strong. I mean, Jameis, outside of you like to see him maybe kick that field goal on 4th down. But regardless, I mean, that was a good performance considering you're throwing to Isaiah Hodgins and, Wandale's your number 1 guy and, all that stuff. And so I thought the offensive line played really well against a good front. So, yeah, to your point, I mean, offensively, that was a good performance. And defensively, for 3 quarters to keep Detroit down, I mean, there was much worse teams out there than the 2-9 Giants right now.
What do you think of the job Kafka's done here so far as the interim head coach in 2 weeks?
Well, I thought it was a good performance. I mean, he went deep in his bag with, some of the deceptive plays that he ran. They were well executed. That means that they were at least practicing them, and to pull them out there and execute them in a game like they did, I thought was pretty strong. I thought he was pretty clever in some of the play designs, and just the execution, what they asked Jamison to do, which, was to run it a couple of times. I thought Kafka was pretty good. I got to give him passing grade on how that offense executed on Sunday.
You think he gets a real chance to win the job here?
I mean, they obviously know him, and so it's a question of what's the best fit for the team, and whoever's going to make that decision. Is Joe going to make that decision? Is the mayor's going to make? I mean, I don't know who's going to make that decision. But you would at least talk to him about the ideas that he has. I mean, he knows the personnel better than anybody else that would be coming in the door, which doesn't mean anything, because Mike Vrabel didn't know anybody up in New England, and he's got the hottest team in the league. Yeah. So, I think you should at least, not just courtesy, but, he's been there he's toiled. And he might be ready. I don't know. You never know until these guys get the opportunity. But, he's basically campaigning for the job right now.
Yeah, no doubt. And the conventional thought is like, hey, if you're the head coach and they don't keep you there as you're an interim, well, there's no way you're going to stay in the building and be the OC. I mean, that right. Doesn't make – okay. And I agree with that. But in this situation, let's say somebody like McCarthy, like a veteran, gets the job, and the veteran wants Kafka to stay on, and Kafka trusts the veteran's vision. Would it be the worst thing in the world to work with Dart for a full year, with Neighbors, with Cam back, with some draft equity, and then go out and hit the coaching cycle next year?
Well, I mean, then are you just delaying it? Are you just delaying the inevitable? I mean, look, if they turn it around with him, then you don't have to worry about that. But if they're struggling and out of contention here in November, then you're just delaying the whole process. Like, what would be the purpose of delaying it?
BT and Sal on the Fan. Insider calls are brought to you by Nationwide for your insurance and financial needs. Nationwide is on your side. New York football has been god-awful. It's been that way for a while, Baldy. We get some good games coming up on Thanksgiving. The team that just beat the Giants here, the Lions, they'll start things off with the Packers. I can't figure the Lions out. I thought they'd be much better than this. I thought they were going to destroy the Giants on Sunday. I was wrong. What are you seeing with Dan Campbell and his Detroit Lions here?
They're a big play team generally. Like they lost the tight end, Sam Laporta. Everybody has injuries, but he was a big part of what they did. I think that the Giants did a pretty good job controlling the offensive line. They didn't look like a dominant offensive line to me for much of that game until Jahmyr Gibbs got loose there at the end. But defensively, look, I mean, they basically made Aiden Hutchinson disappear in that game, and he's their best pass rusher and their best playmaker. They've got rookies at safety. They've got small backups playing defensive backs, and those guys, Meek Robertson is a nice player, but like he's their best corner right now. They've had so many injuries in their secondary, and it's really caught up. Teams are, taking advantage of that right now.
Baldy, are we just seeing where, and we've heard this a lot, and there's examples, but I think this year is a really good illustration of it, where the good teams, the really good teams, like the Lions were supposed to be, are a little thin because, once that quarterback gets that big second contract, you just lose. Even the Bills with Josh Allen, Burrow goes down. That defense is awful in Cincy. Like, I feel like the situations around the NFL are more impacted by the quarterbacks getting paid and these quote-unquote good teams losing players that kind of help keep amongst the elite in the NFL.
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, look at what New England's able to do with a rookie contract. With Drake May right now, they could go get Milton Williams and Harold Landry and Robert Spillane, really fill up their defense, and go get, Diggs. And so they spent their money wisely on players that have all made major contributions. Now, they also hit in the draft. I mean, they've got 4 rookies starting on the offense right now, and they're really, really good. So, it was a combination of a great coach, a lot of money to spend. They spent it wisely, and they have a rookie contract. When Drake May gets paid, when that time is, whenever they decide to do that, they're not going to be able to keep a lot of these veterans that are making, real good contributions right now.
You look at the second game on Thanksgiving, Dallas and the Chiefs, as an elimination game here for each of these teams?
They're right there on the cusp. I mean, there's 5 games after this week. I just saw the Chiefs, come from behind and hit some explosive plays to beat the Colts. It's basically you're playing yourself out of the competition. But I mean, if everybody beats everybody up, we might see teams that are 9-7 in the playoffs this year, the way it's going. And so it's a possibility that somebody could still stay alive. But if the Cowboys go to 5-6-1 with 5 games to play, that's going to be pretty tough. They almost have to win out in order to get in.
Do you like it when it's like that? Like that kind of parity and like a couple of teams that are barely 500 getting in? Is that good for the league here?
No, I mean, I just got done watching the Rams. I mean, they look head and shoulders above everybody. But Seattle's very good. New England is very good. The Eagles can be, although, and we'll see what the Chicago Bears are on Friday against the Eagles. We'll learn a lot. I mean, if Chicago comes to Philadelphia and beats them, you have to consider them that team. With a big winning streak and a hot quarterback and a good coach, you got to consider them to be an elite team. Normally, like right now, I don't believe there's 7 playoff-worthy teams in either conference. It doesn't look like it, And so, but we've seen that before where it's a little diluted. Wild card weekend, we see some blowout games.
Not like this, though, Baldy. I think at this point of the season, there's always like 2 or 3 defined heavyweights. Like, no doubt, top teams. I know the Rams are good, and I'm with you on them, but I think outside of them, everything else is debatable who the next 2, 3, 4 best teams are.
Probably. I mean, we'll see about the Patriots. They've answered every test. They went to Buffalo and won. They went to Tampa and won. They've answered every test. They got an easy quiz this week, but they're going to get tested down the stretch a little bit with some teams. But I mean, they got a 9-game win streak and they don't make many mistakes. And the quarterback is really good.
You mentioned the Bears. I can't get myself to believe in them. It's not just the way that they're winning these games. I just don't trust the Bears and Caleb Williams. It's been impressive. Do you believe that they are a legitimate team? I know this game Friday is going to be a big, measuring stick, whatever you want to say, if they can win that game. I don't expect that to be the case. Where do you think, though, Baldy, the Bears are overall? Legitimate team in the NFC?
Well, they lead the league in takeaways. You're giving extra at-bats to the offense. The offense doesn't make many. They made one mistake against Pittsburgh last week. But that defense is taking the ball away at a rate that nobody – they're going to have 40 takeaways at this rate right now. Wow. The top 2 interceptors, Kevin Byard and, Nashawn Wright, they both lead the league with 5 interceptions. If you keep taking the ball away like that, they're going to win a lot of games. It's just the way this league always goes with the turnover ratio. Jeez. And the quarterback – he knows what he's looking at right now, and the offense makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of creativity to it, but they never get very far away from the basics of being able to run the football, especially in short yards and goal line situations.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I didn't think that Caleb Williams was this accurate.
He's not. I mean, he's completing 60% of his passes. He's still missing too many, but but he doesn't play a frenetic style like he did last year. His feet are in the ground. It's heavy play action. He's under center a great deal of the time, maybe more than any other team in this league right now. The 2 rookies that they drafted on offense right now, Luther Burden and Colston Loveland, are really coming on. They don't look like rookies now. Like, they're real playmakers for him. And Kyle Monangai from Rutgers has been a really good contributor to him. So they got a good rookie class. The left tackle was a rookie last week, Trapillo from Boston College. All the rookies have showed up. And then the coach is he doesn't coach the quarterback. He coaches all 53 guys.
Now you got to love that. All right, last one from me. Give me a quick answer on this because it's going to lead to something a little bit bigger. I want to at least give the Jet fans a throw him a bone here. You think Cam Ward could play? Can he play? Yes or no?
Yes, he can play.
Okay. Then that changes things. And I was going to ask you because right now the Titans have the top spot, the Giants are 2, and then it's the Saints, the Jets, and the Raiders. Now, obviously, the Saints, the Jets, and the Raiders are all hunting quarterbacks. The Giants don't need that. They've got Dart. And that's why I asked about Cam Ward. Like, if they were not sold on Cam, I was going to ask you if there was a chance that maybe the Titans would take a quarterback. I know that's unconventional, but I think most people assume, well, the Titans will trade out, and I just needed your opinion if they were going to, remain absolutely married to Cam Ward. And you like the young man. You think he's good?
I like him a lot.
Wow. Okay.
I saw him a couple weeks ago, and I said, we need good young quarterbacks. And he's throwing to a rookie tight end, a rookie wide receiver, and the offense line is a mess, and they fired their best coach, Bill Callahan, the offensive line coach, with his son. I mean, it's just a mess there around him. I mean, he might end up being one of these reclamation projects down the road like Darnold or Baker. But, I mean, I think the kid can play, and he's as tough as can be.
You doing a game on Thanksgiving, Baldy, or what do you got? You off?
I am doing a Texas A&M in Texas on Friday, and I'm doing the Jets and Falcons on Sunday.
Condolences for that
God
one.
God bless you. Hopefully you don't eat too much on Friday.
If you want to double dip, you have some travel issues, so you try to get home for the holidays, and the Jets are right up the road for me. So I'm going to make the game fun. I'll tell you that.
There you go.
Happy Thanksgiving, Baldy. We appreciate your time.
Guys.
We'll talk to you next week.
Brother. You bet.
There you go. That was Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. We'll come back. Get back to your calls, 888-808-1019. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogut.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, an Odyssey sports station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com, and by your local Mazda dealer. St. John's 0-2 against top-tier competition after yesterday's loss in Vegas to number 15 Iowa State. Up next is Baylor, unranked but 4-0 after topping Creighton in their opener of this event. Tip-off is scheduled for 4:30 this afternoon. Rutgers also lost in Sin City yesterday. They are just about to tip off with Notre Dame over on 660 AM. The Red Sox have made a trade, sending 2 young pitchers to St. Louis for veteran righty Sonny Gray, who had to waive a no-trade clause. The Cardinals also sending $20 million to Beantown to pay for part of Gray's remaining contract. Meanwhile, NL Cy Young winner Paul Skeens just received a $3.4 million contract for next season through baseball's pre-arbitration system. This is a new record. This money comes from a pool of $50 million that the league and union set up in 2022, so young stars get paid a little bit more earlier on. And Rangers backup goalie Jonathan Quick now on IR with a lower body injury. JT Miller, Will Borgen skating at practice today in non-contact jerseys. Fan weather is sponsored by New York City Small Business Services. It's 54 degrees and cloudy in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
You have to be able to stop the run in the Northeast when you're outdoors. And if you can't do that, you're going to get steamrolled.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5, the smart choice for those who expect more. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety, there's more to a Mazda. Celebrate the More to Move You winter sales event and lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Since January of 2022, the City of New York has awarded $24 billion in contracts to MWBEs, the most of any U.S. city or state in the nation. Build your business with the City of New York by going to nyc.gov/MWBEs.
This Thanksgiving, FanDuel is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It's called Pass the Leg. Here's how it works. Start a group build, add your pick, then pass it to your friends so they can add theirs. When everyone's done, you each lock in the group parlay with your own funds, because football is better when it's played and bet together. And to make it even better, everyone gets a 50% profit boost to use on their build. Maybe you'll start your parlay off with a Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown and then pass it to one of your friends. So grab your crew, start your build, and get in on the action this Thanksgiving with Pass the Leg. Visit FanDuel.com/GO. That's GIO to get started. FanDuel, play your game. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
I was having a little rainbow cookie.
Oh, where are they?
Marash brought them in from Stanley's Bakery. So listen to this. Apparently, Stanley's Bakery is in East Islip. Boomer talks about it a lot.
Okay.
My grandparents used to live right down the block from there. So for me, there's nostalgia. And occasionally on the holidays, I'll go down to Stanley's Bakery and just get something just because it's from there. You know, my grandparents long gone.
Yeah, of
they
course.
sold the house. But that was like my grandparents and then my father's home bakery. And now Marash comes in, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And he's got some nice, like, Thanksgiving, what do you call that, like...
the tray thing?
It's like a cone-shaped... Hop, what do you call that thing? The cone-shaped thing that
cornucopia.
It's in? Whatever, yeah.
Well, I never heard of that, okay.
Really?
No,
You've seen it before.
Cornucopia? You never heard of cornucopia?
Well, I didn't either.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it was called.
I've heard the word, I just didn't know what it was.
You would know what it was. You would know what it is if you see it.
Right.
So it was like a chocolate made... It's a cornucopia made out of chocolate that has rainbow cookies on the inside.
Does Marash really need to be lugging that thing around?
Well, he brought it for everybody here.
Nice.
I guess the guy at Stanley's is a listener to the Fan, hooked Marash up a little bit. So we appreciate it. And usually I'm like, I can't eat this during a show.
That's my department usually.
Yeah, usually with a bag of chips, cheddar and sour cream. I like to be healthy during the course of the show. Now I'll go home and I'll eat like Big Shore or on the weekends. But I got TV after this. Mm-hmm. But I am a sucker for a good rainbow cookie.
They're one of my favorites.
That was delicious.
And not to mention he had two fat boys basically egging him on. Like, go for it. Go
him
for
and
it,
Hopper, hands full. By the way, you got to get out there now, as a matter of fact.
I'm seriously thinking about it.
I'll take a call and do it for a minute here while you go out and get it, because otherwise they're going to be gone between Marash and Hop.
I love the rainbows.
Double fisting that cornucopia. Is that what you call it? All right, BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call.
I'm going to text him. Did you say bring him in? So
who, to Marash?
Yeah, I mean, if he's around, let's see, text and bring him in. I'm hungry.
BT and Sal show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Let's get back to the Yankees here. Fun talking some football with Baldy. We'll get into a little Turkey Day teasers coming up for you in a little bit. We'll continue with the conversation here on the baseball stuff. Rob is in Sayreville, New Jersey. What's up, Rob? Rob, are you with us?
Rob, what's up, bud?
Sounds like a no to me. Jim is on the Jersey Shore. What's up, Jim?
Hey, guys. BT, this is for you.
Okay.
A few months back, I was driving cross country, and I heard you savage Cashman. I heard you say you were a better GM, and I agreed with you on everything you said, and you savaged him.
Okay.
And I am shocked that today you are not savaging this trust fund puke who is ruining our team and our and the way we bring up our kids. You have kids. I am not bringing my kids. I will not spend another nickel on New York Yankees baseball. And for you to be straddling the fence and not calling this guy out like you did Cashman that day. So I know you got the balls. But for you, and I'm from Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay, right where you're from.
No, I got you. Keep going.
You need to be calling this guy out. And you're straddling the fence. And Sal, you, who I disagree with most of the time, said the right thing. If you're not going to spend the money, then fire this.
Jim, before BT gives his retort here, because you wanted him, I just want to offer a solution potentially to your problem. You could always raise your kids Mets fans. Steve Cohen is not cheap.
You know what? I will bring my kids to Met games
and watch them win 83 games.
Done. I'm done with this trust. You know what? At least they're trying.
All right, so.
All right?
Yeah.
This trust fund puke is ruining us.
Oh, my God, Jim.
And
Good
the
God.
Yankees, any fan who goes to a game next year is a sucker. Goodbye.
Jim is, he talks about, and the kids. Imagine being his kid and bringing home a 63 on a math test. I mean, run away. We want to go home with this guy.
Respect it. Good job, Jim.
I hear. The funny thing is, I usually agree with that type of stuff as well. All right. Well, first of all, Jim, I'm not a puppeteer or something that's in the Macy's window that when you walk by, I snap into attention and put on a show. Like, I'm not just going to scream to scream. I'm not going to, what'd you say, whatever, however you said it, describe it. Savage. Yes. It's got to be natural, man. It's got to be natural, and there's enough evidence over my career. There's a lot of savages out there when I believe it applies. I don't really think it applies here with Hal. Number one, the offseason just started. That's the first thing. Now, we're sitting here, and it's, March 1st or March 25th, opening day, March 26th. And it's literally Rice, Jazz, Caballero, McMahon, Wells, Judge, Grisham, and Dominguez or Jones, right to left in the outfield. And Stanton as a DH. Trust me, it's going to be savage time. It'll probably be very bloody and very gory. But I'm going to do it when I believe there's merit to it. Otherwise, I just think it's weak and without a lot of basis. And I try not to deliver that. I think what I've said about Cashman is very true, and I stand by it. And I think what I've said about Hal is very true, and I stand by it. Maybe I didn't say it as theatrically in terms of Hal, but if you actually, what was the caller's last name? Was it Mike? Jim? Jimmy, I would encourage you, go find the free Odyssey app, right? And go and listen to this again. Sometimes it's not always how you present it, but it is truly what you say, much like is what you do. So I don't think I gave Hal the pass. I've said many times. As a matter of fact, the one time I got loud was, I'm like, why should we be the ones who hold the standard for the Yankees? When they don't do that. So I got into that. I'm sorry that my presentation wasn't up to the snuff of Jimmy and wherever was Jimmy was going. I forgot where Jimmy was calling the phone.
I think you could both just mend the issue that you have.
There he is.
Here we are.
Yes,
Stanley's a little rainbow cookie. You see that?
These are like fall. Where's the Italians?
No, that's it. Well, look at him. Two of them. How about that?
You're the absolute man, dude. Look at this
monster. We got a long one right
Shorty.
there. How many did you have so
long
far?
Long one.
I'm going to have one more.
Can't even go. Give it in. Sean, this is great.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too,
happy
buddy.
Thanksgiving. Marasha, of course. Everybody here today for you guys. Evan and Tiki coming up next.
God almighty.
Okay.
Dude, this is ridiculously garbage.
Well, what I was going to offer is a solution as we enjoy our rainbow cookies here. You and our last caller can be frustrated and know that New York deserves better and you want to raise the expectations. You can root for an organization that at least holds people accountable. The payroll is no issue. We don't hear about luxury tax threshold and this or that. If the team isn't up to snuff, which it hasn't been with 83 wins, Steve Cohen's going to go out there and change things. Fired basically all the coaching staff. They traded one of their core four players. I mean, that's a team that maybe you could get behind. So you obviously are too far invested in the Yankees. And our last caller,
he sounds like he is too.
Yeah, but his kids aren't. So you should raise your kids. He should raise his kids. Bring them to the other side of town and root for a team that holds their failures accountable and the people who lead to those failures accountable. Why not? It's a nice solution.
Listen to your tone, though. I mean, the other thing the other team across town doesn't do is win at all.
Yet.
Well, true. Yet.
I mean, that's
a big word.
They weren't in the NLCS 2 years ago.
Understood. Been a World Series, been a minute.
I agree. But that's why changes have been made.
I do like, I got to stop beating this on the air. Oh, that's gross. All kidding aside. I do like the, wow, these are really good. The, the accountability that I think has gotten a little lost in the Bronx. I've said that. I think that if we're here now, there's a lot of work for the Mets to do as well. I would be very surprised, and I said this going back a month or two ago, I think that the Mets are going to have a monster offseason. I'm very, very less convinced that the Yankees do. I think it's going to be a tweak. I hope that it's Bellinger. I think that they are going to lean on We're getting Cole back, and we got this, and we got that. And that's not good enough for me.
Horrible,
but
yeah.
I can't yell and scream about it every time. I mean, Cashman, to me, has done more wrong than Hal. And that's where I direct the ire. If Hal was...
Right, but Hal's the one who keeps him employed.
I know. I get that. And that's where I'm and I don't know how else I could say it, is that I would have moved on respectfully years ago. If Hal wasn't cutting checks, I would be destroying Hal. To me, the most culpable would be Cashman, because they have tried to win the same way for too long, and it's not working. And it's unacceptable.
Here's the way that I would put it. Even though being a Met fan is mostly misery, when you look at their track record, I don't look at their organization and feel frustration by the people making the decisions. I feel frustration by the results last year, but I'm very confident and comfortable in the hierarchy and how they operate and will continue to operate. Doesn't mean that it's going to add up to wins, and ultimately that's what it's about. But I know that if it doesn't add up to wins, like now, with Stearns this year, if they don't add up to wins, there's going to be prices to pay. Whether it's Mendy, whether it's Stearns, whether it's one, the other, both, whatever. If they don't reach the level of expectations that the boss man has, King Cohen has, they're out, and he's going to find the next people that are going to come in and use his resources successfully. I happen to believe in David Stearns. I think he's going to get it right this year. I also believe in Mendoza. I think they're going to be fine this year. But what I think is different from what actually is going to happen, all I could say is from a fan's perspective, I don't think the Mets have ever been in a better position as far as the structure from the top to where fans should feel comfortable knowing that there's going to be accountability and the resources going into the team to do whatever they can to make them better.
He could have kept Buck around. It would not have been absolutely insane, even though it seemed like it was time to move on from that. Would have been insane to have Buck around one more year. It was fairly bold. Now, the one thing that's changed for me is, and I remember saying a year ago, where I was higher on Mendy a year ago. I'm down on him a little bit for the reasons I've said a lot, but we'll see. And this will be the year he's either around for a while or he's not. Ownership, again, this is what I said last year. Ownership, faith. General manager, faith. Manager, faith. And star players, really star players, superstar players, Soto, faith. So 3/4 of those are, well, certainly half. The owner and the superstar player, a lot of faith in those guys. If Mendoza and the Mets get off to a rough start, does it languish for the season, or would he fire him during the year? I don't know. We'll get an answer on Cohen. I could see it either way. If they have a lackluster year, and that would be now 2 out of 3 years where it didn't go well for Stearns, would he fire Stearns at the end of year 3? I think, but I want to see it.
Rob is in Sayreville. Let's try this again. What's up, Rob?
I appreciate it, guys. I enjoy your show when I get a chance to listen to it. I've been a Yankee fan since Maris and Mantha were chasing Babe Ruth. And
hitting the key demo there.
Well, listen, I've seen a lot over the years, and I was just wondering about Hal Steinbrenner. What has he actually accomplished? All he did was inherit big money, and in 25 years, a quarter of a century, his organization has won one championship in a quarter of a century. In Yankee land, that is unheard of. And now, to top it all with this latest press conference, he's got the audacity to squawk about paying $100 million during COVID. Are you kidding? People lost jobs. People lost small businesses. People lost work time when bills were due.
People lost lives.
People lost their lives.
Yeah.
And you have the audacity to complain about doling out $100 million rent? How dare you? Thank you, guys.
Thanks for the call there, Rob. I mean, listen, the frustrating thing, and he's nowhere near this. I mean, it's the exact opposite, really. Like Woody, right? So we scream, "Oh, Woody, sell." It's frustrating when, there doesn't seem to be a lot of recourse right now from a Yankee fan's perspective. That's why I'm not just going to yell, man, but because I've already done the yelling. So
if the Mets were winning, I think you'd be yelling. If the Mets
yelling anger?
Well, I think you'd be more frustrated. Yeah, I
don't let the Mets' success or their failures don't impact how I view baseball.
But
not at all.
It should, because the Yankee fan is frustrated right now, and it's easier to accept the frustration when, Cohen spends a lot, but it added up to 83 wins. I thought you meant pertaining
to the Mets. So given the Met-Yankee dynamic, would I be a little more agitated if the Mets were winning a championship, the Yankees were? That's a little different.
Not just because the Mets are having success, it would be because what the Mets are doing right, meaning the owner and GM going all in or whatever. If that led to success, I think it would be even easier and more frustrating for Yankee fans to pounce on Hal for not doing more.
Okay, I misread what you meant. That's probably right, by the way. Yeah, I would agree with that because now it's like in your face, and now that's unavoidable. So, but think about the Yankee dynamic now. Like there's only so many other things. He's not going to sell the team. And apparently he's not going to move on from Brian Cashman. And obviously not this year. So, like, what is the emotional pivot? What is the emotional explosion? What is the target? If the target's already been hit, like, and I've done it respectfully, but again, Hal, I would have moved on from Cashman. He's not doing it. He's been here forever. I've been saying this forever about Cashman. What else do you want me to say? Buy out Stanton, the construction, these are of the roster. These are things that I've complained about for a while. You get to a point, you're like, all right, I guess it's like a spouse who's not going to change. After you're not going to change, I'm going to leave. I mean, are you going to change? Are you going to fix something? So if he's not changing, I'm kind of done yelling about it with how it's so entrenched in our minds and our thoughts on the Yankees. It's not new. I don't think it's a real intelligent discourse.
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
All right, so let me tell you guys, Cash App is built for the city. You guys got built-in security that's rock solid, Face ID, scam warnings. You got a little 24/7 chat support as well. It's like having a bodyguard for your money. We work too hard to let stuff slip through the cracks here, guys. So download the Cash App today and use code WFAN10, and you can send $5 to a buddy, and within 14 days, Cash App's going to drop 10 in your account. Not bad. Hook up a buddy with 5, you get 10. That's pretty good business right there. Terms apply, obviously. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App's a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Direct deposit, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Play of the day in college hoops is Northern Iowa, laying 7.5 against Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago has had a season to forget so far, sitting at just 1-5, but even worse, they haven't covered the spread in a single game. Even last game, losing outright as 12.5-point favorites. The Loyola offense is going to have a tough time getting going against a Northern Iowa defense that ranks in the top 50. Bet smarter, beat the books, download the BetMGM app. Please gamble responsibly.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet. That's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video, chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
Make your holidays memorable at a Lexus from Ray Katina. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here. Drive home luxury in a GX or TX with class-leading storage. Celebrate the season in style at Ray Katina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Katina Lexus of Monmouth.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action to get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down, before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo Touchdown, baby! What?
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those? Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to EdisonHVAC.com.
This holiday season, find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo from Volvo Cars Ramsey. 8-time winner of the Volvo Excellence Award. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived. Lease a new 2026 Volvo XC60 B5 plus all-wheel drive, $583 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for details. MSRP $57,145. VIN 1292363. Loaner vehicle 4,210 miles, $3,700 down payment. Tax title registration extra. 0 security deposit. Ends 11/30/25.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Means it's the perfect parlay pick segment going in a week 13. Now we're doing it on a Tuesday. BT and Hop are off tomorrow. I'll be in tomorrow to give my special Turkey Day teaser, which throughout the course of the perfect parlay pick segment, that's a bonus that's worth 35 points. Hoff is in the lead, 175 points. BT, after cashing his 3-team parlay, he's in second with 115. I am in third with 105. A 2-team parlay worth 25. 3-team worth 50. 4-team worth 100. We'll do our perfect parlays separately on Friday off the air. We'll post them on social media, but on the air right now, Turkey Day teaser time. 3-team, 10-point Turkey Day teaser that's worth 35 points on the scoreboard. BT, we all hit last year. What do you got here in the all-important Turkey Day teaser?
All right, so are we doing the music here? Are we doing the whole spiel or no? We're just going to run into... I got, now, just to be clear, it's still the same thing. Over, under, sides, we're just doing the 3 games, right, for the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, all the Turkey Thanksgiving games.
Okay, no, because when you say the 10 points, we're not getting like wacky with those 10. We're just making picks, right? That's the same thing.
No, a
I
teaser.
forgot from last year.
A teaser.
Oh, a teaser.
A parlay is different.
Going to be a disaster.
Do you know what a teaser is?
I do, but I did all the wrong research.
Just let him go with it. Let him go with it.
Well, no, whatever you would take, just, okay, well, I'll help you out along the way.
Okay, no, I knew that as I was doing this. I'm like, I kind of forgot what we did a year ago.
You've done teaser before?
Many times.
Yeah,
no, I know how to take, of course. Right. So I'll give you what I picked, and then you just do the increments with the teas. I got the under in the Packers and the Lions game. Over under is 48.5.
Right. So you're gonna take the over 30. You're gonna take the under 58.5.
Correct.
Right? You want
I'm
the
going to
under.
tease that up,
Tease
and I'm going to go under that. Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Kansas City and Dallas, the over-under is 52.5. I'm going to jack that up. I'm going to take the under there as well.
So 62.5, take the under. So 2 unders in the first 2 games for you.
I
Okay.
appreciate you doing this, dude.
Yep.
This would take me forever to figure this thing out in real time. I don't know what would happen.
Yeah.
And finally, Bengals +7 at the Baltimore. I'm going to jack that up, and I'm going to ride with the return. What's up?
No. You're taking it's Baltimore -7 over the Bengals.
Correct. So I'm going to take the Bengals plus the 7. I'm going to jack that up and get them a little bit more juice and pump that up to a 17. So I'm taking the under in both the first 2 games. I'm going to take the Bengals plus the 17 as they go into Baltimore.
All right, there you go. Yeah.
For that sloppiness, Hoff and Sal and everybody.
No, you're fine because actually, like I'm looking at it too, and I'm not making my pick right now, but I'm doing the math because normally when I would do these, I go on a site, whatever site it is, and boom, you click it in. Oh, I'm getting the Chiefs plus points, whatever it is. But now we have to actually do the math with the 10 points. So just summation there. You're taking the under 58.5.
Yep.
Lions and Packers after you tease it up. You're also teasing up the Cowboys and Chiefs to take it under 62.5.
Correct.
You're teasing the Bengals to take the points, so you're plus 17 there.
Yep.
All right, Hop, what do you got here? You're the leader. This is huge here. There you go. All right, a little Thanksgiving music there for you, Hoff.
So here's the deal. I hate over-unders unless we do teasers. I'm doing the exact opposite of BT. I'm going all overs. Nice. So, Detroit versus Green Bay. Over 38.5.
Right, okay.
Dallas versus KC. Over 42. Over 42.5.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, Baltimore, Cincinnati, over 42.5. Simple. Winner, turkey dinner.
All 3 overs. I will give mine tomorrow. I got to look at it. I didn't want to do any research today. You guys, because you're off tomorrow, it's Tuesday. Like, I like the day before. When we do it on Friday, even to me, that's a little bit early, but you have no choice. I need to nestle in. Maybe tonight I'll start to look at it a little bit. Tomorrow morning I'll start to look at it. I'll give you my Turkey Day teaser. But you guys are in the clubhouse. One thing that I usually don't do is the over-unders. If you notice, throughout the course of the year, I have not picked one.
I don't think you did last year either, right?
I just don't do it.
That's how I made money, man.
Yeah, I don't mess with the over-unders. I will say with the teaser, it's a little bit different. If I don't love one of the other picks, and I'm not sure which way I'm going to go, although I was doing the early math here, Packers plus 12.5 seems like a reasonable choice.
You think so?
Do you tease it the other way and take the Lions, who you expect to win, plus 8.5? I don't know.
Do you expect the Lions to win?
I do. I expect them to win that game. But
that's kind of a coin flip to me.
I've been getting sucked in either way. So then I take the Lions to win. I'm getting 8.5 points. Yeah. That's a game to me you would probably be safe either way. A lot of these games you could pick with a teaser either side. Although I will say my Uncle John taught me at a very young age, teasers are the biggest sucker bet out there.
I've always said that, but I don't know why I feel like I get more bad beats when it comes to actually sides than it is totals. Like, listen, I mean, of course, I've won all this. I've lost all this. I mean, you do it long enough. You win every way. You lose every way conceivably. But I feel like, without all the data in front of me, I've been more successful with the over-unders. And I like team totals, too. Like, I'll do this in college where you've got to, say if Bama's playing some scrub team and, maybe like a vintage Saban or Buckeyes now, whatever, some great team now, and they're laying 40, just too much juice for you to feel comfortable laying. And you're like, well, all right, I don't want to do that because they might get a little backdoor cover, whatever it might be. You're like, but I know that the Buckeyes are going to score at least 37.5 or 40 points. So you're not laying all that juice to win by that amount, but you're pretty confident that the team that you have confidence in will score X amount of points in terms of the team total. I don't think enough people bet the team totals is what I'm saying.
I don't mind the team totals as a fun individual bet, but in the college case in particular, I'm always, if I see a 44-point spread, I'm laying it. And generally, you may get beat by one score. So I know it's not going to be a blow. I'll tell you later.
It's not going to be a 3-point game.
This week I actually picked, I'm in a pool, actually, which is running out last week of college football coming up this weekend. But I picked Notre Dame was a huge favorite. Georgia was a huge favorite. I picked a bunch of huge favorites, and I ended up winning 3 of the 5. One was a push.
Well, Notre Dame, I remember flipping on that. I think they were beating Syracuse 59-0 at one point.
Won, I think it was 70-7 they won. And the line might have been 40 or something like that. Because when you see that means, okay, well, this team's going to run circles around this other team. It's a matter of how much with the foot on the gas, especially because you want to, especially the better teams, they want to show the margin of victory, all that stuff, to get better, point system, whatever.
The metrics, yeah,
exactly, the better metrics. And if you allow one touchdown, that could throw the whole thing, apart. That could make you. That's how you lose that bet, allowing just one touchdown. Generally, though, I found it a good philosophy too. If you're going to do it, just do it with all of them, and you'll hit the majority of laying the big spread.
And if you're going to do it in college more so than the NFL.
Oh my God!
Just think about the Jets and the Giants this past weekend. We're sitting here. Giants are in overtime. They're 2 touchdown dogs against Detroit. The Jets are 2 touchdown dogs against the Ravens. If Breece Hall doesn't fumble at the 2, he pops that in either on that play or the next play. Jets are within 3. Now they covered anyway, but I mean, listen, you can have a 50-point spread and win 49-0 and not cover the spread, but the sheer gap in pure talent of the college level.
Oh my God!
There's much more destruction.
I don't even watch.
That's carnage.
I don't even watch college football. I let the lines tell me. Oh, okay. Well, this team's favored by 38 points. That means they're so much better than this team. The disparity is not like it is in the NFL. To your point, where I would go the other way generally in the NFL, I'm always a take the points guy. In college, I'm generally a lay the points guy.
What about rivalries, though? Now, not to get into the weeds because we only know a couple of players.
Not as much. I like the big, big known conference team and perennial powerhouse program versus
like the Bowling Greens, or where they're getting paid money to come and get their heads handed to them.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm with you there, but like something that just jumped out, and I just popped on to look at some of these college games just for a second. So we know about Mendoza. Obviously, Indiana's awesome, and their coach has got $1 gazillion to stay. They're number 2 in the country. They're in West Lafayette against Purdue. Now, Purdue is awful. They're 2-9. That's a real rivalry game, and the spread is 28.5.
Yeah, I don't mess with the rivalries.
Okay, I probably wouldn't. Well, I'm not going to touch that. But if you had to go one way or the other, are you going to lay it or are you going to take the points?
And what is it? This is who now again?
It's at Purdue, who stinks.
Who Purdue?
Indiana's laying 28.5. Purdue is 2-9.
I would not touch that. I would take the points with Purdue.
So would I. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think the rivalry. I'm going to take some points.
Also, now this is an issue. I don't trust Indiana. I know that they're one of the great teams right now.
Their defense is good too, man.
Again, but it just doesn't. I know. I get it. And a lot of times they've probably covered. I can't trust them the way that I would Ohio State, where more often than not, and I'm sure you can look this up, people look at their record against the spread. I just feel like more often than not, if you lay the points with a powerhouse, even Notre Dame against Syracuse. Notre Dame this year, if you pay attention a little bit, they light it up offensively. And I know Syracuse isn't any good. Now that score is even more astronomical than I thought.
I mean, that's not acceptable.
In your particular case, I would not take Indiana. BT, it's Al on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Jamie is calling from Erie, PA. What's up, Jamie?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, buddy.
Good, man. Thanks. Hey, first things first. Hal Steinbrenner's so worried about money. You know what makes a lot of money? World Series T-shirts, World Series sweatshirts, World Series, commemorative posters.
All the merch.
Yeah, there you go. But what I'd like to do, can I ask you guys your opinion on this? Is there any way we could get Bregman and still sign Bellinger?
Yeah, should be. Why not?
Let me give you my lineup real quick. Here's my lineup. Wells a catcher. Don't exactly love the batting average. Ben Rice at first base. He's got a trial by fire. We give him 1 year. You're the first baseman. You can't cut
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Thank you. Jazz at second. Caballero at short.
Bregman at third.
Bregman, that'd be great. Bellinger. We got Grisham
and Judge.
Center field. Okay, now here we go. Here's the big one. Steven Kwan. We see if we could trade Dominguez and a starter and get Kwan. Judge is now your DH.
So you're going to get Bregman, Bellinger, and Kwan and move to, all right. I love the creativity. I mean, listen, if they did it, they'd be a much better team. They'd have a chance to win the World Series. They're not going to do it. The only thing that I would say is about moving Judge to DH. I get it. 6'8", big body, got hurt last year, whatever. But he's still a plus defender. Like, I'm not looking to get Judge off the field. I'm just looking to keep him on the field and stay healthy.
But you also wouldn't need to, that's taking it a step too far. You don't need him to be the DH. Sometimes you want him to DH, but you don't need him to be the DH. Even with adding all those guys, you could have Bellinger play some first, Bellinger play some center, Bellinger play some right, and Judge could DH. Like, Bellinger would be the key there. Here's why I love that idea, and I don't think it should be that far-fetched. Bellinger needs to come back to have the Yankees be where they were a year ago. So bringing him back to me is not the Yankees went out there and spent on Bellinger. It's bare minimum of what they need to do.
I agree.
Bring him back. Now, how are you making the team better? I love the idea of Kwan. Gold Glover in left field. You trade one of the young guys for him, whatever package it takes, you have him leading off. Then where you really extend it is going after Bregman, because now you're significantly upgrading your infield as well. You keep your flexibility with Bellinger. You get your leadoff hitter and a Gold Glover in left field with Kwan. You shore up defense at third base and a right-handed bat to boot with Bregman at third. That makes the Yankees better. They're loaded in the starting rotation. They'll figure out the bullpen. That, to me, is a home run offseason, and it shouldn't be unrealistic because you're adding one big salary with Bregman and you're adding one trade with Kwan. He's not going to cost you a lot of money.
No, I don't think he will. And by the way, here's the other thing that would do. I mean, you're probably looking at a lineup. I don't know if you look at it this way. Kwan 1, Bregman 2, Judge 3.
I would go Judge 2. I didn't really think it through, but I would go Kwan, Judge, Belly, Bregman. You could go
Rice
Jazz,
against righties.
Yeah, or Rice. Okay, figure they're going to go righty, lefty, righty. That's the prime.
Maybe Bregman more 6.
Whatever. He'd be down there. It depends on what Stan's doing.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if he needed to stack a couple of righties. But the main thing for me would be Kwan in front of Judge. He's going to get on in front of Judge. Then they're going to have to pitch to Judge. And it would be Bellinger behind Judge. Then from there, it could either be Stanton or Bregman. And if you have Stanton there, let's say Rice behind him or Jazz, whatever mood you're feeling, who's in the lineup, and then it could be Bregman behind them. So also, by the way, you now have 3 contact hitters with Bellinger, who's a plus defender, can play everywhere, contact hitter. Kwan, high contact hitter. Bregman, same thing, average, put the bat on the ball. Those are 3 of your positions in the field that are now occupied by guys who can hit with some pop, but also just more of an emphasis on putting the bat on the ball, getting on base, good defensive players. To go along with the mix of the power with Judge and Jazz and Rice and Wells. Mm-hmm. And you could live with whatever you get from shortstop as long as defense is taking care of there with Caballero and Volpe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a couple of variations that would excite me. I'd like this one. It's not going to happen.
But think about it. If you're spending, it's not asking to spend a ridiculous amount.
I know what you're saying. You're bringing back Bellinger, so it's the same as, okay.
Yeah.
Now, what you're going to have to do is now the Mets did this only $5 million with Nimmo to send them $5 million. You're going to have to get rid of McMahon. So I think McMahon, who's making 16 this year, 16 next year, $32 million.
Maybe you send some money to
offset the cost a little bit. So if he's due 32 over 2, can you send somebody $5 or $6 million, get that into the 27, 28 range? It would probably make it a little bit more palatable. You give him a low A pitcher that throws 99 that you don't even really know about yet. All right, deal consummated. So that's not impossible. The thing is, so I'm not saying it's impossible.
I like that team.
I like it. Listen, you got to understand everything. I judge everything. Number 1, do I like it? And I like it. And number 2, do I think the Yankees will do it? And I don't. Now, but the other thing, and I look at this, and I'm very curious. I don't know what he's going to get in arbitration, Hoff. Maybe this came up on the Rico. If it did, just hop in. So Stephen Kwan made $4 million last season. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I know, but he's not getting a ton more, is he?
Well, I would think he would go up to about 12, maybe 10, 12, which is nothing. I mean, for a guy who's really good. So you've got basically the 2026 season and then the 2027 season. You got 2 seasons. As we know, he's young, he's a leadoff hitter, he's an elite outfielder, and he's making relative peanuts. We talk about what it would take to get a Skeens whenever they trade him or a Skubal, and clearly Kwan is going to be a minuscule package compared to that. But what do you think it would really take to get Kwan?
I think the Yankees
what do you think it would take?
I think they're in a good spot because I would assume it would be either Jones or Dominguez as a starting point, and then you give up a couple of minor leaguers.
What about a starting pitcher like Will Warren if the Guardians ask for that?
I'd be fine with that too. Yeah, I mean, the Yankees have a bunch of arms. Obviously, I'm not giving up Cam Schlittler for him. Outside of that, I would even give up Luis Heel if I needed to. Maybe they don't have to. Maybe Warren would be the one that the Yankees prioritize. Maybe they move on from either one. The Guardians can look at the Yankees and say, give me one of those pitchers, give me one of those left fielders, and give me a lower level guy. I would assume that that's a pretty good package for a guy who's under control, cheap, Gold Glover, contact, leadoff guy in front of Judge. It's a perfect fit. That's not going to cost you a lot, but prospects, which you need to give up anyway because you can't have Dominguez and Jones playing on this team next year.
No, there's no way. We've come around that. Every time that comes up, we both agree. I did find something, AI, whatever. Projected earnings via arbitration would be $8.5 million, which is up from the $4 million he's making this year. Hey, listen, even if the Guardian said, I want Clark Schmidt's out until August, whatever it is, all right, he's young, he's control-able, he's pretty good, he's coming off Tommy John, take him.
Any one of those guys.
And take a picture, except Schlittler.
Exactly. Any one of those guys not named Cam
I would even give up, did you say Heel? I think you did.
Yes, I did, yeah.
I would give him up too.
Yeah. Let them pick Warren, Heel. I mean, obviously, if the Yankees have a preference who they want to keep, you limit who they can pick. But yes, one from that bunch, plus Jones or Dominguez, I would think that that's close to getting it done. Maybe you throw in a lower level prospect. But
I would think if the Yankees are ambitious and they are creative, that there are several deals to be had. We'll see if it comes to fruition, but that is something that should satisfy both teams. We'll see. All right, we'll get back to the calls, wrap it up. Obviously, BT and Sound on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number. Hey, this Thanksgiving, FanDuel's introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It's called Pass the Leg. Now, here's how it works. You guys start a group, all right? Build with your first pick, then pass it on to your buddies. Then they can add a leg to theirs. When everybody's done, you lock it up in a group parlay with your own funds, and then football becomes better because, let's face it, betting on football gives a little more juice. It's always a little bit more exciting. It just is. I don't care what you say it is. And then everybody has a chance to get a 50% profit boost to use on their build. Maybe you start your parlay off with a Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown as the Lions start things up at 12:30 on Thursday. And maybe you start something off with a little Dak or maybe a little CeeDee. Maybe CeeDee Lamb could actually hold on to the ball this Thursday, unlike this past weekend. Start your build, jumping on the action this Thanksgiving with Pass the Leg. Visit FanDuel.com/BT to get started here. FanDuel, play your game. We love the app right here. Safe and secure. And when you win, get paid right away. FanDuel's the official sportsbook of the Fan. WFAN, 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost. I always burp the same point of this read every time. It's like a hiccup, not a burp. Restrictions do apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com and available to gambling problem. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
I'd much rather have Jameis Winston go win the game for me than have my defense have to go win the game for me.
And I know you're kicking off to the Lions, so they may get the ball to the 30-yard line as opposed to starting on the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
I know all that. But I also know that it's a hell of a lot harder to score a touchdown than it is to kick a field goal to go into overtime.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. The Cleveland Browns don't always make the decision you'd expect. After Shedeur Sanders won his first start in the NFL, head coach Kevin Stefanski wouldn't commit to who was starting the next week. He finally announced it would be Sanders over fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel. The Browns have given every indication they're just not that into Shedeur. But after the guy won his first game and had some promising plays, they really don't have a choice. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Paid for by Term Provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit BigLou.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or over cooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Having the right winter tire matters. So take control of the roads this winter with a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires from Town Fair Tire. Town Fair has the region's largest inventory of Bridgestone tires, all at the guaranteed lowest prices you'll find anywhere. And with 100 locations, you'll find a Town Fair near you. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone Blizzak tires and the most free services for life, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hey, it's Brian Baldwin here. Makita knows that pros never settle. Get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. When you shop Makita at the Home Depot, these tools don't just meet expectations, they redefine them. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly designed to deliver precision job after job. When the job calls for the best, call a Makita. Makita, built to be the best, available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin. Every year, too many lives are lost in alcohol or drug-related crashes. These are preventable tragedies, and it's time to take a stand. Let's make New Jersey's roads safer for everyone. We are all counting on you.
Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I check my list once, twice. All done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand and new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Rogue Platinum, 2025 Murano or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 12/1/25.
If you're injured in an accident, the Rothenberg Law Firm is on your side. A legendary team that has won billions over 5 decades. The Rothenberg Law Firm. 1-800-624-8888 or injurylawyer.com.
Call of the day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's call of the day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating expert. Jim is on the Jersey Shore. What's up, Jim?
BT, this is for you.
Okay.
A few months back, I was driving cross country and I heard you savage Cashman. I heard you say you were a better GM, and I agreed with you on everything you said, and you savaged him.
Okay.
And I am shocked that today you are not savaging this trust fund puke who is ruining our team and the way we bring up our kids. And for you to be straddling the fence and not calling this guy out like you did Cashman that day, so I know you got the balls. You need to be calling this guy out, and you're straddling the fence. And Sal, you, who I disagree with most of the time, said the right thing. If you're not going to spend the money, then fire this.
Jim, before BT gives his retort here, because you wanted him, I just want to offer a solution potentially to your problem. You could always raise your kids Mets fans. Steve Cohen is not cheap.
You know what? I will bring my kids to Met games
and watch them win 83 games.
I'm done with this trust. You know what? At least they're trying.
All right, so
all right,
yeah.
This trust fund puke is ruining us.
Oh my God, Jim!
And the Yankees. Any fan who goes to a game next year is a sucker.
That guy's aggressive, man. I thought we were aggressive. He's got a mean streak in him.
Come on, that was tremendous. He said savage, I think, like 100 times. Right?
Yeah, he did. You know, Macho Man music.
There's only one. There's only one. Oh,
you got a little something?
Not now. I mean,
you could actually play it.
Better kill the bit there, BT.
Play it. Come on. Let me hear it. I love the music.
That's
Come on.
dead. I lost it now.
Oh, jeez.
No, I couldn't help but think of it. I didn't notice that the first time. He kept going on saying you were savage. He said an extra 15 times in there. But look, he's upset, and understandably so. I would be frustrated too if I'm a Yankee fan.
It's not cheap going to the stadium. So any sort of responses like that, I get it. I'm not going to tell him not to feel that way.
Do me a favor. Could you just real quickly savage him, bro? Just savage him.
I don't even know what that means, savage him.
Just light him up.
Is that a real term, savage?
I've never used it. I would just say light him up.
I know what a savage is, but to savage somebody?
Yeah, I never use savage in the verb sense. I mean, you're a savage, Booney with the.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, God, I used to love when he come out, man. Miss Elizabeth.
Can you
Savage of BT? Oh, yeah.
You sound like him a little bit. Why don't you do it?
I don't know how to do that.
A savage.
Yeah, savage.
A quite kind and extremely loyal person perceived to be narcissist.
That's got to be an antonym.
Perceived by narcissists as weak, passive, and or subservient. I'm not sure what that is. I'm looking up Urban Dictionary right now.
Okay, well, there you go.
Oh, my God.
Why don't you just look up the dictionary?
Yeah,
Why
what's the real dictionary say?
Wow, the Urban Dictionary is much better.
It is more fun.
The real dictionary. Merciless, brutally honest, usually referring to somebody who has no regard for how another person feels and doesn't hold back.
Ruthless.
But I would say, like, yo, that's savage. Not you savaged him. BT,
Well, that's why
that
I
was
say-
savage, bro.
Oh, God.
That was savage.
That's why I said you wouldn't use it as a verb, because what he wants me to do, it's an action. So he's asking me to turn what I always thought was a noun into a verb.
Like your unkillable rant was straight savage, bro. I'm just trying to put it in a sentence here, according to Urban Dictionary, right?
I still,
No, I'm serious.
I still
The
don't know
unkillable-
how I actually
He
how I did
wanted
that.
he wanted the unkillable version.
Yeah, you ain't gonna
of
get
the
it
Yankees.
there.
Oh,
No,
why?
you take a lot more than that. That's gonna take a 79-win season to get the Jet version. Dude, they won 94 games. They won a playoff series.
See?
A little perspective.
You
No, stop.
You're fitting in with them. You want to be in the DOA.
Yeah, I know. I'm the problem.
You
Stop.
went from savage
the
to
hell
a
out of
done.
here, this guy.
Department of Nerds.
I'm not just gonna come on, man. I'm not doing it just to do it. Like the Jets, I didn't even know what that was more like. I was trying to convince myself, like the Jets, the Yankees, like the Yankees. Let's separate. Let me just make it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to separate the Jets and the Yankees, if that's okay with everybody.
Fair enough.
Is that all right?
Yeah, fair enough.
And separate, give them a little recognition that they're just a little better than the Jets. Is that all right?
Well,
No
I mean,
problems.
The
We're
Yankees,
good?
the Yankees have participated in one, final round in the last, 15 years, and the Jets haven't.
It's
So
one more
yes.
than the Jets. to my point.
Exactly. Nick is calling from St. Augustine, Florida. What's up, Nick?
Nick!
Hey, guys. So I had a question about the Mets and Yankees if there was to be a salary cap. But real quick, the Mets could make Alonso and Tatis work because Tatis, the next couple of years, only making 20, 25, 25.
Yep.
If Alonso got 5 for, let's say, 150, 30 a year, you could front load Alonso so that the last 2 years he's only making 20. And you obviously got rid of Nimmo's contracts. Those last 2 years, Nimmo's are gone. You won't have that.
Nick,
So
one
they
thing. I
could
know you
make
got Nick. Hold on, Nick. I know you get a great point. The only problem with that is that there's going to be more people knocking on Pete's door this winter, probably the Red Sox and maybe some others. So Pete is not going to have to acquiesce to that kind of structuring, whereas last year he would have. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a different ball game for Pete this winter.
Well, you're front loading Pete, so the first
No,
year
I know.
you get 40,
I know.
then you
I
go
know.
35, 35. Okay.
I got you.
Now, with the Mets and Yankees, if you had a salary cap, who do you think is best to operate under a salary cap right now?
Great
Stern
question.
And Mets with their farm system, or Cashman, Yankees farm system, organization-wise, who do you think could operate better and become a champ and a better winning team?
That is a fun question, Nick, and thank you for the call.
Yeah, that's a deep one. I wish we came a little earlier in the show. I would say my first instinct would be to say Stearns. Number one, he did it in Milwaukee without a championship, so he's more used to those rules. And even though he hasn't quite done it with the Mets yet, to me, there's a lot of evidence that Brian, that's not one of his strengths there. So because Brian's been trying to do this for a long time and it hasn't quite worked.
That's what makes it a fascinating question. And if there was a salary cap, and I don't anticipate there ever being a salary cap, that's the other thing that bothers me about Hal, though. He's talking about salary cap and, well, they need to raise the floor. Like, dude, you're the Yankees. That's beneath you. I don't worry about that stuff. Like, that's beneath you. What are we doing here?
I don't want to hear about. What'd you say? You got what?
I just wanted to get a quick. I think I have. It would be actually Cashman. Cashman, because I think this is where Stearns would get agitated with what Stearns does, and he'd step in a lot more.
That you're saying that Cohen would get agitated with what Stearns does.
Wait, what did I say?
You said Cohen. You said Stearns.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's what I meant.
So yes. So Stearns versus Cashman. Cashman has the track record of being successful in New York. Stearns isn't have it.
Yeah.
But Stearns was kind of operating, to your point, under
That's his blueprint.
Yeah, he didn't have a salary cap, obviously, but he did have great success. Well, maybe not great success, sustained success in a small market before. My gut tells me I would rather go with Stearns. I'll take the combo of Cohen and Stearns, even with the salary cap, over the more successful Howell and Cashman combination, if all things were equal, resources were the same, salary cap was the same, I think I'd side with Stearns at this particular point. Dude, he's already doing it. The fact that he could trade Nimmo and change a piece from the core four, bring in a guy who's an elite Gold Glove defensive player and talk about the little things that he does to help him win a game, something that you and I talk about all the time. Cashman doesn't do that. It's one guy after the next is going to hit 30 home runs. It's just a different philosophy.
How about you flip them? How about you put Cash in Milwaukee or Cash with the Mets, even though the Mets... Well, because it's got to be Milwaukee. It's got to be because of the pair. Do you think that Cashman would be able to build a team? My gut, and this might be unfair to Brian, but my gut would say no. That wouldn't be in his wheelhouse. Not that he couldn't adjust at some point, but I know that Stearns already did it.
But to be fair to Cashman, you also would change philosophy if you did have restrictions. Fewer mistakes are going to be able to be made. It just changes your thinking. Maybe it could benefit him from doing it. It's not like he's a dumb baseball guy.
Could they? No, definitely not dumb.
Right.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Saying, yeah.
Would he, if he's in Milwaukee and their top pitcher, Peralta, whoever
why don't we
goes
find
down,
out?
Would he
get rid of him? Send him to Milwaukee.
Would he have been able to buy Fried for $200+ million last year with Milwaukee? Probably not.
Right.
So it's all part of the calculus. Yeah.
All right, that does it for us. Enjoy the holiday. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a good time, man. Everybody out there, have a great couple days. Enjoy it.
Thanks to Dove. Thanks to Hoff as well. I'll be back with you tomorrow solo, 10 a.m. Evan and Tiki, they're coming.